which you wouldn't give to be one of those 44 players that will take the field of battle shortly at the MCG. This has really become the football lovers' day. This ground is packed with fans of both these sides. 90,000 plus, and the noise they're going to make this afternoon will be something to behold, Stephen.
Oh, no question about that. And just looking at the two skippers there in the centre square, Nathan Buckley, of course, coming back from injury, and Rashudo, well, he's been here before and he's done the job before.
Crows have won the toss. Punt road end in this first quarter. So last-minute instructions from the Crows, and then you have Nathan Buckley and the boys at the other end. There they are there.
Any surprises, do you think, Dax, today? Will any coach really go for something that we don't expect?
I was surprised that Jared Malloy is not in the 22. I just thought, especially with the Crows coming into the game, Sauce with a little bit hanging over the head of, say, conditioning or the fitness of a few of their players, I just thought Jared Malloy would have been terrific. Playing off the bench 40% of the game, using as a battering ram the early part of the game.
Well, no doubt about that. Certainly, if there was a fit Jared Malloy who'd played most of the season, there's no doubt he was capable of playing in this side. But I guess Malthouse has said, I'm going to go with the proven players out there. They've got us this far, so he's got a lot of faith in the 22.
Do you think the weather favours the Crows? Beautiful conditions, a little bit of wind, but should favour their highly skilled players?
I think you have sort of really with both teams that it just suits a good game of football. Both teams are good at their ability to carry the football. More so Adelaide. Collingwood do rely on probably chipping it around into space and then working it forward. We've got both teams with marking options in the forward line, so I think it just suits a good game of football.
Ben Hart is going to Chris Tarrant. Graham Johncock watching Nick Davis. Burns in the middle. Sting line with Buckley, no surprise.
Clanker's gone to Walsh.
We're ready to go.
Smart rocker.
The MCG at full capacity. Collingwood and Adelaide in the first preliminary final. Free kick to the Crows, and it's Rhett Biglands to take it.
Always starts with the first contest, gives you an idea of just how the players will go about it.
Wakeland was leaping high with the first spoil. Steinfort with a job to do today. The Magpies work it out well. Loney was in great form last week, or 2 weeks ago, and he's important for them. Fraser, who kicked 4 goals last time against the Crows, been horribly out of form. Smart, under pressure. Fraser. Free kick, holding the ball.
Well, that was harsh. Did well there, Fraser, to hold the ball inside 50, but the umpire thought otherwise.
Biglands creating space on the wing, accepting that pass gleefully and getting them moving. It's a pretty open forward line. Welsh.
Not forgetting their start last week, which was absolutely sensational, Crows.
Here's Burton. Prestigiacomo couldn't stop him. So they've gone for Prestigiacomo with the job on Burton.
Well, he's got a huge job, really. Burton kicked 4 goals last time they met, and Prestigiacomo just needs to play in tight early.
Wrong side for a right footer, Brett Burton, and his kicking can let him down at times. He's had a fabulous season. You'll certainly have to work from this angle.
He's kicked 52 goals, 34 for the year, so pretty good figures, really. His previous best in a season was only 25 goals. So the high-marking, exciting players had a very consistent year up forward. Would love to kick a goal here to start proceedings. The Crows fans go up. The goal umpire stays down.
Couldn't have been that far away. First score of the game. Lockyer with the football. Into the back pocket, James comment. This is where they have to be watched, Collingwood. They do work the ball well. Out wide, Nick Davis. Long way from home. He's off and running. Just
Buckley applying the tackle.
interesting, Steinfort, after that ball was in the air being thrown in, actually peeled off Kane Johnson and ran inside 50 all on his own. So Kane Johnson for the Crows has to watch Steinfort at these type of set plays.
Well, we see Steinfort coming back into the picture there, just away to the left of the umpire, McBurney, who puts it down now.
There he goes again.
Lots of
Where they need to get the ball, and this is when they're good. Crowell back to Ben Hart. Will drill a pass. jumping, knocked away from Welsh. Well done, Lucuria, half-back. Shepherded, no, Goodwin got him in the end. Burns, Clement with a little bit of time. Just behind that circle and into the forward line we go. Nick Davis, John Cock there also. Does well at keeping boundary. Oh, did beautifully to get away. Chance for Collingwood now. Inside we go. 15 from goal. Rocker just slipped through his hands off the ground. Too high in the end, Ben Hart. Too high. Should have got a free. It is. And the Crows will get out of jail.
Gee, it's such a fickle game, isn't it, Steve?
Yes. We just see here the tackle by Rocket. Good sign. We saw Stevens on the screen just a short while ago. He was picked off by Leon Davis.
The Collingwood fans at the moment, I'm sure they'd be wrapped with the start, but with Tarrant off the ground and appearing to be reasonably seriously injured, their hearts will be in their mouth a little. Here's another opportunity. Fraser, it bounced. And he wasn't really that quick to respond, Josh Fraser, that time. Well locked in by the Adelaide defence. He gets another chance. Well done, Josh Fraser. Lockyer misses.
Gives you an idea of the type of pressure that's out
pressure,
there,
isn't
Sos.
it?
Had a lot of room, and again, it's not so much that the players weren't talking, it's that Tuck and Lockyer probably couldn't hear him. There's a lot of noise out there at the moment.
Binky on for Stevens.
And Josh Fraser causing a few problems for the Crows. Bassett not really tight on him.
So Hart brings it in. Biglan's against a couple. O'Brien did well. That was the right option. Knocked it back. McLeod stole it. Just over wing. McGregor will come out. I don't know if he likes the ball on the ground. Wrapped up in the end from Wakeland. Another feature of the game has been the tackling.
Let's get down to Christy Bolthouse with an update on Chris Tarrant.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, the good news for Pies fans is that Chris Tarrant is actually just about to run past us. They checked his knee when he came off. He looked like he was in a bit of pain, but he is up and running around now.
So Burns to Buckley. A little bit of space. Rare for him early in this game. Leon Davis may take it. Josh Fraser took it, and he was definitely over the line. And the boundary umpire sitting back about 60 metres from where that ball dropped.
Gee, what a start by Fraser. He just looks like a different player, doesn't he?
He needed a start, and I think his first contest was the right thing to do. He got himself involved, he got a tackle on, and he got a touch of the ball early.
So players, Josh Fraser will contest. Bassett may be the man. And this is where they may be exposed. So Josh Fraser will take front position. Bassett works his way to the front now. Straight down. He does well to follow up and off the ground, so it's out of danger. McKee sitting back, a kick behind the play. Well done, Massey. Did well. Decides to go in with a left foot kick, half forward. Wakeland front. Didn't have it in the end. And that's where it'll go. And off half back, he has Clark sitting in behind him. Into the middle, Lucuria and Collingwood. He's gone.
He's gone. He did well, though.
He did well.
Yeah.
Terrible tackle from Benke.
Well, it was an amazing decision, wasn't it, to bounce the ball in the first place? But somehow they got out of jail. O'Brien can use Burns out wide. Nick Davis makes one lead. He tries to go for Davis. John Cock, who's become quite an accomplished small defender. He stitched up Brad Green last week.
He was quick on that occasion. He made up the ground very quickly on Nick Davis.
With Tarrant off the ground, Rocker back to the goal square. Smart picking him up. Leon Davis out of the square as well.
So just on the 50, Bassett over the top, Stengline, Johnson, and the Magpies locking it up. 14 minutes gone on the opening term. Josh Fraser's kicked both the goals, and that's what Christie was talking about. Chris Tarrant striding out.
Just off screen, Rupert Batheris inside 50 has the job on Ben Hart, even though Ben Hart is a defender.
So Fraser's still getting plenty of the footy. It's in the danger area again. Can someone get a boot to ball? No. And Collingwood 2-2-14. Adelaide one behind. 14 and a half minutes gone. Opening term on a magnificent Saturday afternoon in September at the MCG. 90,000 or so watching the Adelaide Crows versus Collingwood. Smart gets them to half forward. McGregor with a bit of run. Hasn't really been able to get his hands on the footy yet. And the ball over the line.
That lead up, that minor score for Collingwood back at the other end had Carl Steinfort not far away from that ball again. So I think you'd imagine that he's not far away from scoring if Collingwood can continually going inside 50. Ball comes in. Bigland's down. Didn't have it, Kane Johnson. Play allowed to move on. Goodwin asks the question of the umpire.
Batheris has come off the ground, been replaced by Didak. hardest pick Didak up.
Big ones and McKee. Burns is in the area, knocked on. Prestige Como did well. He goes and moves to the boundary. Boundary thrown between wing and half forward. Adelaide Crows into attack. Wonderful start from the Pies as Bode on for Crows. Kane Johnson off. Kane Johnson was one of the players that certainly comes into the game under a little bit of doubt. A lot said about him. Burton just gets a toe to it off the ground. Goodwin under pressure was great. It's inside 50. Slap back and will be against McGregor in the end. Wakeland out wide. Steinfort will run now with Kane Johnson going off. Just a rearrangement from the Crows allows Steinfort free. Ben Johnson. Aniti's run out wide. Nick Davis with the flight of the ball. Bounces between he and Didak. Didak took it in the end. Gives himself a little bit of space and room. O'Brien busy. Oh, Buckley got the hand up. Just missed it in the end. Tyson Edwards wrapped up too high in the end. Definitely a free and Crows to take it.
Edwards through the middle of the ground. Burton. A long way from goal at the moment. Nathan Buckley, incidentally, just 2 disposals. Wakeland's been influential at centre half back so far. There's his opponent, McGregor. Sloppy delivery, though, for the Crows forwards. They haven't seen much of it so far. Burns under severe pressure. Lockyer. The Magpies ganging up well, teaming up across half back. Loney, careful delivery. There's the captain.
O'Brien getting under the guard of the Adelaide Crows at the moment.
Nathan Buckley.
They need some forwards presenting here, Collingwood.
Well, there wasn't much movement ahead initially. Had to go short, and it turned out to be not a great option. So the Crows have just stopped the momentum that Collingwood were building. But on the scoreboard, the Magpies lead by 13.
Biglands is running with McKee, and Collingwood do try and get McKee on the opposite side of the ground and do try to play through him. So Biglands is keeping McKee honest. And the thing Biglands has to do when Collingwood go forward is try to get back into defence, use his height, try and get himself down there in a support type role.
We just have a blood rule here, Clement, coming off the ground with some blood.
Well, we talked about Nathan Buckley only having 3 possessions. Simon Goodwin for the Crows, who had 39 possessions last time against Collingwood, has only had 1 so far today.
McLeod has been pretty good for the Crows, leading kick getter with 5 possessions, or total possessions 5.
So some rearrangement going on from both teams. We talked about Wakeland's influence. Well, Stevens is back on the ground and now playing at centre half forward.
The other one is Tarrant is off the ground. Has slowed things down for the Pies.
So here we go again. Play restarting. Again, some good pressure, and the Magpies escaping. Lucuria, Hart was leading Nick Davis to the ball, but he lost his footing. Davis doesn't need much of a chance to kick a goal. He can't make the most of that chance, though. Out of bounds on the full.
Just a couple of good signs by the Pies. They are working for each other. A number of times they've got shepherds for their fellow teammates, just the little 1%ers.
John Cock out of the back pocket. Oh, slipping over. Crowell backed up by leading kick getter or possession getter McLeod. Back to Crowell into half forward. Welsh. So the Pies doing well defensively. Prestige Como around the body, running back with the flight of the ball, and letting it bounce and run away from him was Biglands. Well done. Got the arms clear. Steinfort, no one home. McGregor will take the mark. So Crows dish off. They have to watch this guy. Too much room for McLeod. Wonderful player into the pocket. Rashudo held no. Johnson does well, then goes to the boundary. And we get a ball up. It's 25 around, and the Crows still looking for their first goal of the game. 19 and a half minutes into this first quarter.
Pretty congested there for the Crows. Collingwood had a lot of numbers back. Tarrant coming back onto the ground. Good signs.
Well, Collingwood have had a lot of possessions, 56 compared to 40. They lead by 13 only. But the Crows putting some pressure on here. Davis, Cloak, who's got an accountable job today on Scotty Welsh. Dangerous kick, this one, flirting with danger, but it gets Loney. And now the next option not immediately available and obvious, apart from that short one to Cloak.
Just watching Lucuria in the middle of the ground. He's on his own at the moment, so allowed a lot of space. He's a long way off the ball here, but if Collingwood could work it to him, they are away.
They've locked him up pretty well here. Prestige Como. Laddams couldn't really make any genuine attempt to spoil, so Prestige Como able to take the mark.
Goodwin picking up Lucuria now.
The switch is on for a short one to Burns, or else he has to go along to a contest, and he won't want to do that.
18-8, Collingwood's favour. Marks in this game so far.
Well, he has to just go along, hoping for Fraser, who worked his way well. Smart coming in to assist. Good work, though. And along the line, interception by Clement. So Goodwin not having much of an effect so far.
Fraser just coming off the ground, having a rest. Didak replacing him.
First instinct when Clement took that mark was to try and switch direction, move to the opposite side of the ground. That's what Collingwood will do.
It's become more of a stalemate in the last 5 minutes or so. Bit of kick to kick from both half-backs. John Cock blasting away, and you can see why. Extra numbers from both teams. Well, that allows Laddams to come in, and he did wonderfully well.
Yep.
He's created an opportunity. Goodwin, Johnson, this is where they're dangerous. They're away. There's some space. There can't be hesitation. Stevens recovered well, though. Mark Rashudo, they need a goal. They turn to their captain, and their captain stands up and kicks the Crows' first goal.
The two biggest forces in equipment hire have come together to give you more equipment, better service, and the best advice and knowledge from local people you know and trust. Call 13 18 10. Coates and Wreck Air, delivering higher value.
Still power, not just for professionals.
Talk about working for a goal.
The hit-outs, 8 to Collingwood, 6 to Adelaide would be a surprise. Matthew Clark warming up for the Crows.
Bigland's beautifully down. Bode's wrapped up in the end. Should have tried to dish it off earlier. Tyson Edwards, lock your front position. Smart to mop up. Runs out wide. Didak doing the right thing as a forward. And he will get the free. I don't know if Smart had a lot of time there. Didak out wide. And it's a Collingwood mark. And Nick Davis, who has been pretty busy, has taken it. Will certainly have to work for it. Has an angle to contend with, and he'll kick from just inside 50.
Well, this is the holding the ball decision. The tackling has been outstanding. Didn't dispose of the ball correctly. Correct decision.
So Nick Davis with an opportunity. And no matter where you earn them or where you get them, they are all opportunities. Just a matter of working for him. He had to work and he misses out, so it's a cross goal. 1-1 was Adelaide score, 2-3 for Collingwood. And so far, it's been a pretty good game of football. The Crows aren't running as well as you'd like.
Bigland's off the ground. Clark has come on.
Ben Hart with the footy at full-back for the Crows. Gets Rashudo. And he's got some space to run in through centre-half back. Searching for McLeod. Maybe they're rotating on him. Johnson trying to stop him that time. Bode to centre half forward. Stevens in good position. Wakeland's worked really hard. Was able to get it clear. Lockyer just dishing it back. Close to the line. Cloak goes for the boundary line. He gains some territory. The umpire's ready. He's hot. He's pinged him. Well, that goes against what they say. They say if you gain territory, then you don't give the free kick against them. Change in interpretation. Stevens bombs away. Presta Giacomo. Big chance. Dowdy gives the space. McGregor. Tyler says it up.
Smother.
O'Brien. And he wins the footy back. And the crowd get to their feet. And the Magpies are away. Didak. Nothing to go to.
Great kick.
Rocker. He can go long. It's a small forward line at the moment. The Pies a very small forward line. Tarrant, their only marking option. So he goes short for O'Brien. He could almost take it in if he could keep his feet. He can't.
Buckley off the ground for Bathurst.
Well, he hasn't had much of it so far, Nathan Buckley.
Here we go.
Anthony Rocker. A colossal kick to the square. Davis at the back. He was lurking. He was circling. But he couldn't kick a goal.
What was wrong with that bit of play? Leon Davis, ground level player, jumping for the ball. Here's that smother again. It's terrific from
Well, it
O'Brien.
set up that piece of play, didn't it? Really.
Well, you had your two smalls, Nick Davis and Leon Davis, flying. Just too many up in the air for Collingwood. Ben Hart.
The Crows have gone man on man here. They're huddling up with Collingwood.
Free kick.
Good one to take it. It's coming cross half back now.
Well, it was a free kick against Lucuria. He was holding on to Goodwin.
Here we go.
There we go.
Not a problem with that free.
Can't do that.
Simon Goodwin out wide. Loney takes it. Eyes on the ball in the end. The hands back into Wakeland through the corridor is Wakeland. Out half forward. Leon Davis. Bump ball. Actually ran past him. John Cock did well. And then towards the boundary. It's over the line. And Collingwood get a boundary throw in. It's just outside 50 in front of the members here at the G.
You see Bassett off the ground there. Started on Josh Fraser.
Ball will come in. Clark and Anthony Rocker. Rocker supplying. Crowell. Numbers with just getting the line. Goodwin did well. Terrific touch. So boundary throw in again. Half forward. Collingwood into attack. They lead by 9. Did well. Pushed it forward. And boundary throw in again. It'll come down again, Numbers. Crowell goes to ground, then gets it out, slapped it out, Goodwin to Matthew Clark, worked it beautifully, Crows. Rashudo to Edwards, chance now, real chance at that. 2 bounces, let's make it 3, he says. Let's make it 4, he's carried it a long way. Hands off to McLeod, it's 45 from goal, and Andrew McLeod kicks a goal.
Need advice or equipment for moving water around your property? Then go no further than your local Davey dealer. Whether you're looking for pipes, fittings, sprinklers, water tanks, or a pump from Davey's extensive range, your local dealer is there to help. They can also assist with firefighting pumps from a large range of Davey models. So for everything you'll need to move water around your property, you can depend on Davey Pumps and your local Davey dealer for the right advice. Call in now and see for yourself.
Well, that last bit of play will be a big concern to Mick Malthouse. That's exactly what he doesn't want to see. The Crows running. Matthew Clark's had an impact since he's come on the ground. Suddenly they've got some extra legs out there. This is Burns, had to kick quickly. The umpire called him on into the space. Johnson has time, but he has to get back onto his left. And the Crows will know that. He's just about gone. Well, he did well to break through a brutal Rashudo tackle. Tarrant trying to turn it on. Right there with him, head Crowell, suddenly extra numbers for the Crows. They're doing well around the packs. Look at the tackling from Nick Davis though. Hart's handball, they've turned it over under pressure. Fires away at goal, O'Brien, it's coming back. Not far enough. 2-5 to 2-1. The margin is 4 points.
Great pressure by the Pies. They forced the Crows to cop that ball up, and they were able to have a shot at goal. Great pressure.
The Magpies going man on man from the kick-ins, Dakes, from the Crows are huddling. So a bit of a surprise that, not zoning.
It is at the moment because they are getting out, and they certainly have been a lot better in the last probably 10 minutes of football. And a bad sign for the Pies is Andrew McLeod has had probably his best first quarter of football all season. 9 possessions in total. 5. The other good sign is Goodwin. Red alert, getting a lot of the ball. So McKee took it, dropped it in the end. O'Brien has been good for Collingwood. Matthew Clark, for a big man, does well to get down. Wouldn't like to see him make a habit of that throughout this game, but he did well just to provide a contest.
I mentioned before that the hit-outs are 9-all, which would be a surprise. In the past, Adelaide have dominated the hit-outs.
So Batheris thumps it inside 50. Lock, you're under pressure. Well done to be knocked off the ball. It was Massey down there. Rashudo pushed over the line, and the Roo gives it up to the boundary. We have a boundary throw-in. Nathan Buckley, interesting. Bit of time on the bench.
Just the 3 touches.
So as quarter time draws to a close, Collingwood with a scoring chance. Players go in, trying to toe poke it out. McGregor out of his teammates' hands. They still get it and work it outside. It's still on half-back. Well done, McKee knocking Clark. Clark goes back in, and he threw it up as called. So it'll go to Matthew Clark. And off half-back, the Crows ready to go into attack.
15 seconds for the Crows to try and score, and in fact to try and take the lead. It'll be tough from there. Massey probably needs a mark inside 50 if they're going to be a chance. Stevens comes for him. Wakeland has done the job already in this quarter. Dowdy, and there's the siren. Well, a very interesting opening term. The Magpies kicked 2 very quick goals, but the Crows hit back. and the margin is 4 at the first break, Steve.
Yeah, they got off to a terrific start. The Magpies certainly did kick the first 2 goals, but full credit to the Crows. They did fight back. They worked their way back into the game through Andrew McLeod, who had an outstanding first quarter.
Nathan Buckley spending some time on the bench in the opening term. Lots of things to look for as we come back to the MCG, and when we do, the margin will still be 4 points after the opening quarter.
The 2 biggest forces in equipment hire have come together to give you more equipment, better service, and the best advice and knowledge from local people you know and trust. Call 13 18 10. Coates and Wreck Air, delivering higher value.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
Cheers, mate. Jeez, I wouldn't camp there if I were you.
There's drop bears.
Drop bears?
They're like a bigger, meaner sort of koala bear.
Then they drop from the tree.
Yeah.
And then grab your head by your head.
Classic.
Oh, we're in Ballarat and we're okay. In Dickens Street is where we trade. From the lads growing trees to the guys in the yard. To find the best timber's no longer hard. With the huge range more than the rest, we grow out timber so we know it's best. See in Ballarat the best by far, 'cause in Ballarat has the best timber.
Make sure your injury gets the compensation it deserves.
Call Morris Blackburn Cashman on 1-800-642-566.
Bond batteries are built with thick plates to ensure maximum reserve capacity. Look at the reserve capacity of the 6-cylinder family sedan battery, a massive 125. Bond batteries, built stronger to last longer.
I think it's time we tried something new.
You want to send that on a mission of national security?
I don't play this game! Shut him up. Let's take this to the next level.
The fate of the world
22 minutes to evacuate 1.5 million people.
comes down to one man.
You gotta be kidding me.
You don't stand a chance.
Your cover's been blown. Go home, Triple X. I thought we had a deal. I changed the deal.
Triple X.
When you think cement, think of Australian Builders. They supply cement for just about every little project, and it's made to last a very, very long time.
Australian Builder Cement, available from these stores.
Still power, not just for professionals.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
Well, what an opening quarter from the MCG. Magnificent conditions. It was hard and tough, close and tight. Only 4 goals in the opening term. And at the end of it, the margin is 4 points in Collingwood's favour. Josh Fraser kicked the first 2 goals of the game, and they lead 2-5-17. McLeod and Rashudo hitting back for the Crows. So those experienced players coming good with goals when Adelaide need them. The margin 4 points at quarter time. Well, what do we make of it so far?
Well, he got off to a great start, Josh Fraser, didn't he? He was outstanding. But a little bit of an arm wrestle. Collingwood had the better of the play in the first half of that quarter, but then Adelaide fought back as expected.
Some issues for Collingwood is Nathan Buckley, only 3 possessions. As we go to the rankings, Shane O'Brien, terrific, having some sort of role on Goodwin, but also getting plenty of the footy.
Well, the name that comes to mind, O'Brien has been good. Josh Fraser start terrific with 2 goals, but Andrew McLeod has been allowed too much room. And if you give a player like McLeod too much room, you are asking for trouble.
Let's get back down to the boundary line, and Christie is with Mark Aston.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, Chris Tarrant's getting a bit more work done in that break. He had a heavy tackle. His head hit the ground really heavily, and that has caused him to get a sore neck, actually. So he's been having some work done on his neck and his knee. He'll continue to have that done throughout the game, but he'll be right to stay out there. Nathan Buckley off just for a rest. He hasn't played in 4 weeks. They just did a bit of work on his hamstring, but he's right to stay out there as well.
Yeah, Neil Craig, he basically spoke to the boys at quarter time. They all looked pretty relaxed. Gary Ayres spoke to Nathan Bassett. Bassett, of course, came off during that first quarter, and I can tell you that Brian Benke's gone down into the Collingwood rooms. I'll keep you up to date on that. Obviously, some sort of injury.
Yes, and they do that because the Collingwood rooms are the closest, and under an agreement, everyone shares the rooms in terms of medical facilities if they are close. Have a look at that shot. It is such a wonderful sight when the MCG is packed like this. Let's hope the game delivers. So far, it's really tight, Dakes.
Well, it's been a terrific game. Certainly no complaints from me. It has been everything expected at the moment. It's not a high-scoring game, only 4 goals in total, but it is a contest, and at the moment, you can understand the way they're going about it. There's a lot at stake.
So Josh Fraser into the ruck to oppose Matthew Clark. It will be fascinating to watch that throughout the day. The ruck duel's so important. Second quarter from the MCG. Clark with first hands. Look at the scrap for the ball. Leon Davis introduced into the middle. McGregor's now back on rocker. Tarrant, Hart right there with him, as you'd expect. Still working hard. John Cock, was he legged? He was. So Graham John Cock, as the Crows link up, distributing the ball out wide. Rashudo very wide for Edwards. He's got smart ahead, but O'Brien was coming in on him. Edwards, such a fine player for the Adelaide Crows, using McGregor. And now the run of Rashudo into half forward and then beyond. Wakeland, who's had plenty of the footy so far. Burton gets his chance. He doesn't need much space to work in. Rashudo closed up, had to go out wide for Doughty. Loney there with him. Oh, made it difficult, Clark, for Doughty. Crowell. Well, the Crows fighting amongst themselves. Fraser applying some physical presence, and the ball is out.
So just certainly their ability to kick goals out of midfield. There are 2 scores at the moment for Adelaide coming from McLeod and Rashudo. McLeod has knocked up getting a lot of the ball. And they have to watch that because Rashudo, even now on that occasion, just sitting outside 50. He supplied him and then ran on to try and get him a scoring position.
So Adelaide's 10th free kick. Rashudo winds into it. They need someone to pop up and take a mark in the square. Burton crashing through O'Brien. His tackling has really been inspirational for the Pies so far today. And he locked him up then beautifully.
Well, he's done a great smother and now a great tackle.
O'Brien's working pretty hard for the Pies at the moment. And inside 50 for Collingwood, Nick Davis and Tarrant at the other end of the ground.
Cloak with the tap. He loves being the third man at those ball-ups. Poor disposal over Lockyer. Gives Doughty the chance. It's a fairly crowded forward line. Crows coming out to try and open it up a bit. At the front is Bassett. He showed a lot of courage then, but the Magpies able to concede a behind. So Bassett's gone forward. He kicked 2 goals against Collingwood last time. It was a bit of a surprise and played a part in their turnaround. We can see Brian Benke there getting some treatment to the ankle.
Just so important they get him out there. He's the wild card for mine, Brian Benke. He can take a big mark. He's pretty strong at his approach to the football as well. So Lockyer to bring it in. Into the air. Set it up nicely. Burns out wide. Clement has to use it, didn't have the time. Towards wing it is. Cloak down there, ground level. This is where the Crows are starting to do well now. Sting line, all you can do under pressure. Prestige Como does well. Well done, Bassett. The backman has become a forward into the air and to the left. Minor score. 17 to Collingwood, it's 2-5. 2-3 to Adelaide, nothing in it at the moment. That's on the scoreboard. In general play, I think Adelaide just have their nose in front.
So Lockyer, the margin 2. Cloak comes down to provide a target. He's got 3 Crows around him. He had to become a defender again. He's given away the free.
Yep.
Oh, he's down, Edwards. So he's made fair contact. and he's been reported. Jason Cloke has been reported. Well, no matter what happens for the rest of the day, Jason Cloke will be very nervous. And you can see the result there.
Yep.
Well, clearly he was attempting to spoil, but whether the contact was reckless or not,
I agree.
the question.
I don't think there was any doubt. He went to hit the ball on. Maybe a little bit reckless.
Well,
but
naturally,
I think the intent was to hit the ball.
Well, he was naturally trying to get it back towards Collingwood's way. Look, the technique, there was certainly a problem with his technique, always a difficult one. The correct way to have gone about it is naturally extended arm straight to ground, but unfortunately with that, it would have gone back towards Adelaide's goal.
So, Tyson Edwards, who's such an important part running out of defence in this Adelaide team. Michael Doughty will take the free kick.
Edwards had been busy, 6 possessions in total.
So the Crows with their problems, but maybe Collingwood also with some worries.
Free kick in the square against Josh Fraser.
We'll come back to Nathan Buckley in a minute because there's a free kick in the goal square.
He was bumping with Bassett in that goal square.
So the Crows will now be in front, and Nathan Bassett will be able to drive it through. So a report, and then a free kick down the ground. Here it is. We'll just see the goal first. Bassett rams it through, and the Crows are in front for the first time.
Wink, wink, 40 winks.
Why should you buy your bed from a specialist?
Because we are specialists and we own our stores.
We know the betting game. We've been in it a long time.
We're part of Australia's biggest bed buying group.
And that means lower prices to you.
In Ballarat, Horsham and Warrnambool, 40 Winks have the range, the value and everything that's good in beds.
Wink, wink, 40 winks.
Nathan Buckley, let's have a look at this piece of vision. If there is a worry for Collingwood, there's Nathan just feeling for the hamstring. Hard to know whether that was much in or not. We'll keep a close eye on it. But Adelaide are in front. They lead by 4 points.
So Rashudo bullocking his way through, wrapped up. Licuria too high to the Crows again. So they're putting themselves in and over the ball. Goodwin, wonderful player, ready to send them into attack.
They need to take stocking, the Magpies.
So Goodwin into the air. Welsh will jump, comes down around the body. Massey. It's into the air. Kane Johnson can run with the flight. Knocked away. Clement under pressure does well. Down in front of that man Buckley, who's been fairly quiet. And it's out of bounds, half forward. Crows into attack.
What a crucial period this is now for Collingwood, Steve. They kicked the last 3 goals. Things are running against them. We can see with the free kicks. They've got to really lock it in tight.
The Crows have got a bit of momentum here.
So Clark beautifully down McLeod. Had a play right on his hammer. Crowell evades one. No room. Kicks. It'll drop short to the left of the goals. Burton scoots around. Can go across the body. Back towards the square. He keeps it low.
Kick.
It's a mark to Crowell. And it's a goal to Crowell. Well, it's all...
The Weekly Advertiser.
Got something to sell? Whoever you are, whatever you got. Run it till you sell it from just $11 in the Weekly Advertiser. You'll have more luck than selling it yourself, no matter how hard you try. Give them a call and run it till you sell it.
The Weekly Advertiser.
Well, across the season, the second quarter has been Collingwood's poorest. And at the moment, they are under siege from these Adelaide Crows, who are starting to run. Clark leading the way out of the middle, another tap. That one not to advantage Burns. Pretty defensive kick though, wasn't it? Right out to the boundary line. Good pressure on as Laddam's got the handball back to Massey. Pies have got numbers across half back. Scotland's been inserted into the game. Buckley has to leap over Clark and didn't. Matthew Clark with an overhead mark.
And that's where they're doing well at the moment. I think Matthew Clark and Biglands have certainly taken the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, he's playing out of his skin at the moment, Clark. There's a fumble, though, and now Fraser. Hart to the line. They're experienced players. standing up and showing the way.
Matthew Clark is being very physical on Josh Fraser at the moment. Josh Fraser is in the ruck, and certainly Clark has the honours there.
Would you put McKee back into the ruck?
Well,
Clark is dominating. Look at that. There's another tap down. Handball able to be released. Massey. And they've always got one man free at the moment, Rashudo. Bombing away. Good pressure on Welsh. McLeod was looming. Laddams into the square. And then beyond or behind. 4-4. It's just all Adelaide's way at the moment. Plays 2-5.
What Collingwood need to do at a lot of the stoppages is get the extra man up in the air at the moment, allowing Josh Fraser or McKee, whoever it may be, to go one alone. They need to get the third man in, get the body in, get the sit on the pack and get the ball forward.
Well, they've lost their run due to the Crows' pressure.
Licura out wide, Buckley will mark. It's a long way from home. Gets a semi-raz. That's a good kick, Batheris can move it on quickly, turns around and heads in. They need a mark. Rocker is wrestling, pulled off the ball in the end, smart through the traffic, out of danger again. Benny Harder
Numbers.
Rashudo with room, and this is when they're good. Can chip into Burton, he'll go straight into goal. Can go around, he'll stay on the left foot, into the air and to the square. Burton's down there, I should say. Geez, he's doing a good job. And Collingwood will get out of danger. Pressagy Como. Out wide, Buckley behind. Stenglein did well. Scotland. Oh, wrapped up. That is a perfect tackle. McKee to the boundary is all you could do. And he gets there, and boy, are they under pressure at the moment.
So McKee is back in the ruck for Collingwood. As we talked about, such has been Clark's dominance. 4 minutes into the first quarter was the last time Collingwood scored a goal. It will seem like an eternity to the Magpie fans. McKee trying to change that. He did well then. Free kick advantage, Burns. Desperation from McLeod. They need someone to take a mark. Rocker!
And this is where they need him. Sauce, they need him as the third man going across the pack. That's when he's at his most dangerous. He wasn't a target. Nick Davis was a target. Rocker floated across.
Well, it was the mark they needed. He is the man. If Collingwood is going to win today, they need this man to stand up. And he's taken this telling mark at a crucial moment of this game.
And that's his movement. His movement has to be side onto the ball. If he runs straight at it, you'd expect McGregor to be with him. And as a defender, you're really playing into defender's hands. You're making it a lot easier. So if you can get that movement side on, it makes it awfully hard for the defender.
He needs to kick this, Dakes.
Anthony Rocker. 11 points is the margin at the moment. So a goal here, and Collingwood will feel a lot better. But how many times have we seen that over the years with both Rockers missing shots from closer in, and they nail them consistently from outside?
Well, he only took 3 or 4 steps. When he has a shot from outside 50, I guess he takes about a dozen.
So McLeod out wide. Dowdy did beautifully. Met the ball and took it out in front of his face. So McKee's dropping back cross half back off screen. Dowdy will just chip up into the air. McKee will come now. Matthew Clark in front. Push the body in. Kane Johnson mopping up. It's back towards the square for the Crows. Over the top of players. Chance for players to run back. Cloak is back there. Did well to rush it through. Socket it through. And on 2 or 3 occasions, players have come out to meet. It's gone over the top, so Collingwood have to be aware. And Crows' willingness to run back onto the ball and back towards the face of goal.
Just a worrying sign there. The Crows got that in extremely easy from a kicking and ended up having a shot at goal within probably 10-15 seconds from that kicking.
So we can see there what was ahead. It's a scrappy old kick in. Fluky ball. Massey did well. Clark couldn't take it away. The Magpies get it to the centre, but Massey and Dowdy collaborating. Good kick from Dowdy. He was under pressure. He was off Stenglein. He was a step and a half gone. Brett Allen letting him off the hook. He's got Crowell running for him. He'll be inside 50, surrounded by Magpies. Good smother. Wakeland's really led that defence. They've been under siege in this quarter. Nothing to go to. Had to go long hoping that Tarrant or Buckley could get there. Massey. Wonderful effort. You don't get a mark paid for effort. Here's the smother. Crowell, as I mentioned, was surrounded by Magpies. That's commitment. from Wakeland. The score at the MCG, Collingwood 2-6-18. They kicked the first 2 of the match. The Crows, though, 4-5-29. The margin is 11 points.
I breathe through the traffic. Hands off to Loney. They need some run. Certainly out of defence. Loney's the man that can provide it. He's inside 50. Nick Davis, one hand, took it and around the body. He loves these. It'll bounce through for a goal. Beautiful football.
In the country, there are beautiful views, peace and quiet, serenity, and no pressure. But that's about to change. Introducing the new stainless steel home pressure system from Davey, the Dynaflow HS. Isn't it about time the country had a little more pressure? You can depend on Davey.
So Davis kicking the much-needed goal for the Magpies. I reckon Steve McKee's made a difference in the last 5 minutes since he's gone back into the ruck. There he is getting the tap. Clark was pushing it forward. Scotland out wide. Crows will probably win the race for the ball. Hart leading Tarrant to it, and he had the extra man there. Had a good year, Dowdy. John Cock around the corner. This is where Scotland coming into battle. Laddams. Gee, Massey's played some sort of game. Laddams is away. He's got too much pace for Scotland. Into an open square. Bassett pushing and shoving. He's got it. What an unlikely forward. Nathan Bassett. Normally one of those defenders that doesn't give you much room, but he kicked 2 goals last time against Collingwood. And as I mentioned, an unlikely hero at full forward.
Well, the beauty of him, he is a backman, but he knows how to use his body, and he held Cloak out of that contest to take that mark.
And here he is for his second goal. So the Crows responding to take back their 2-goal lead.
I think one of the problems that do occur from being in an isolated area is that it is difficult sometimes to get information.
The Commonwealth Regional Information Service now makes it possible for us to obtain access to the right information in a quick and efficient way.
There are many Commonwealth programs and services available. All you need to know is where to look.
We now can talk to someone who really knows and understands our needs. There's a 1800 number, there's a website, or there's the book.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Great reply from the Crows. They've had, in general play, certainly a lot of the ball, if not all of it, in this second quarter. Signs are pretty good for Gary Ayres and his boys. It comes down. They've been good out of the middle. Too high, definitely. Stengline to take it. Crows into attack again. Hands off. Went to gesture to hand off. Decides to kick, and he pumps it in long. Welsh behind. Push. Jason Cloak across. Slaps it down. Goodwin will pick it up. Being chased at the moment, does well at ground level, racked up in the end. Johnson back to Crowell. He's gone, couldn't shrug, but got his arms clear. Well done in the end. Laddams, hands off, into that pocket. Goodwin has to be good. Centres it beautifully, Welsh marks.
Fantastic play.
Well, they're starting to put it on the scoreboard, and more importantly, have the opportunities in this second quarter. And Scotty Welsh has it. Goodwin, good supply in.
Great kick by Goodwin.
So you'd expect him to kick from here. Shouldn't be a problem from Scotty Welsh. He'll kick from about 30. And it isn't. It is goal number 6.
Thinking home improvements? Then get down to Bunnings Warehouse for a mammoth range at the lowest prices every day. Like 35cm glazed pot, $9.99. 100mm angle grinder, $39.78. 7-piece outdoor setting, $3.99. 200-watt grass line trimmer, $39. 100mm character tomatoes, $2.45 each. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Well, Gary Ayres would be well satisfied at this stage. We've got a blood rule with Clark coming off the ground. Biglands to come back. Gee, Steve, I reckon Mick Malthouse wouldn't mind someone like Jared Malloy to be able to throw in now.
Well, that's right. I think what he might be relying on is the week's rest. You just hope he'd be hoping that maybe Adelaide might tire in this second half. Collingwood should have plenty of legs, but they just look tired at the moment.
Well, if last week's any indication, they finished on strongly, Sauce. I find it hard if that's what they were banking on. I'm a little bit surprising, but I think physically they've been a lot better around that pack or the stoppages, and certainly Matthew Clark and Biglands have given them first use.
So McKee running around before finding Buckley. Burns, they had to release quickly, and you can see that is the pressure that the Crows are putting on at this stage. Burton hacking it forward. Good run, Stevens. Wakeland in the back.
Yeah.
Bode escapes. Advantage? No. Bode had run on and kicked a behind, but it's going to come back. Darryl Wakeland ponders this decision. Shane Wakeland, I should say.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether that's a free kick.
Free kick count is 15-4, 7-1 for the quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you there. A little bit lucky in the end after seeing the replay. Just been fantastic going inside 50 in this second quarter, the Adelaide Crows.
So Mark Stevens, as the crowd voicing their disapproval, off to McLeod into the square. And the Magpie defence, which really has been under fire in this quarter, have been standing up reasonably well, all things considered. The margin now at even 3 goals. Not much joy for that supporter at the moment at the MCG.
Well, Collingwood have just found it difficult to really get the ball deep inside their forward 50 and aren't really putting much pressure on the Crows in that area.
Well, they do rely on chipping the ball around at the moment. They've been kept pretty honest by the Adelaide Crows under a lot of pressure. Collingwood not able to find the space that has been afforded to them all the season. Ben Johnson too close, so they will retain it inside 50. Johnson back in, gave it away in the end. Goodman wrapped up by Buckley. Tarkin Lockyer will go to the boundary. Slapped it up, Laddams. Chance for the Crows. He centres it again. It's all Collingwood. And Pressure Como back there to take the mark. They've certainly been stopped in their tracks. No run out of defence at the moment for Collingwood. Pressure Como will load up. Halfback it is. Marking option, Licuri, you're in trouble. Burton dropped it on the way down. Here's a little bit of run and a little bit of time for O'Brien. Just forward of halfback behind wing. O'Brien chips up. Didak. Could have been a free and is. Advantage here in their home. Licuri now has to come back. He was heading to goal. So it comes all the way back half forward. Allows Crows time to get back. Didak has James Clement. That's where he'll go.
He's a big kick too.
Yeah, he has to be quick. Just gets his kick on time towards the goal square. Tarrant wrestling and not able to come down with it. So enough pressure from McGregor. Back deep in defence for the Crows, and Collingwood manage a behind.
So 3-7 plays 6-6 as we get towards the latter stages of the second quarter from the MCG. The Magpies adding just 1 goal since the 4-minute mark of the opening term, and the Crows in that time have kicked 6. And they've been able to create options for themselves on the way out. Stenglein looping it up over the top. Smart's giving them some run here. It's an open forward line for the Crows, which they relish. Cloak, the third man up. He lost his footing, and so it's all Crows. Bode with the centering kick. Wasn't a great decision. Wakeland and now the Pies can come this side. Skills need to be pretty good here for the Magpies. Scotland wants a space to run in. He can loop it over to Licuri. Drew the player pretty well. Again, it wasn't perfect, the pass over the top, so he just had to wait with the handball. Didak can go with the hands. He's got to be gone. And he gave it up with a poor handball. And this is where the Crows can kill you. Doughty into the space. Burton goes to ground. Give the Pies a chance to man up ahead. Looping it over the top wasn't a great kick. And allowed O'Brien to come in, who's really labouring hard to get it over the line. Now, Nathan Buckley has had just 6 possessions, which is his worst first half for the year, apart from the night when he did his hamstring.
Been well held.
Inside 50, 24-19. You can understand why the Crows starting to dominate this game. 17-point lead. Ground level, McLeod has led the charge. Doughty with no room. Did beautifully. It's back inside 50. James Clement will jump. Collingwood fans looking for a free. Welsh does well to contest. And boundary throw in And Crows are inside 50 once again.
It wasn't pretty play by the Crows, but they're getting the ball in nice and quick, and they're giving their forwards every opportunity. Back down the other end, Didak could have got a ball in nice and quickly for these forwards, but he chose to try and manufacture something and got caught with the ball.
So Bigland's down. Johnson took it for Collingwood. Well done, Bode goes back in. And free ball there for Collingwood. This time a ball up. It's 40 from the Crows' goal. Another opportunity. Been terrific at these stoppages, and this is where Collingwood have to push the extra man up to try and knock it clear. McKee did well. Loose ball, Massey, back onto the right boot. Hands off to Rashudo. On the left, hands off to Smart. Straight at goal from outside 50. It's into the air, and it's in a square. Collingwood are back there. And well done, as he does. Jason Cloak, third man up. Eyes on the ball, out wide. And one of the rare times they've been able to work it into space.
So Buckley free and cruising along the half-back line. Tarrant's ahead, as is Freeborn, who's run for him well, created the overlap. Lots of space in front of Rocker. Let's see what he's like at ground level. McGregor right there with him. Crows helping out. Was that holding the man? It was against Patheris. Another free kick to Adelaide. Goes to Ben Hart. He better get it back to him quickly. He does just in time. Crows fans wanted 50, no dice.
The other thing to consider as well is this is the most frees Collingwood have conceded in a half of football this season.
So Ben Hart striding out in his domain in defensive 50. Doughty. Oh, what
good hands.
Great hands.
Great release. Rashudo, wobbly kick. Hard to handle. Magpies all around, but gee, Ladham's persistence there. And he's got the ball over the line and out of bounds when the Magpies could have been away and running.
Just starting to do the little things, the Crows, the knock-ons, the smothers.
There you have it, 16-5. And you can't argue with it because certainly the Crows have put themselves in. Half forward once again. Loose ball, Lockyer slapped it out. They need him firing. Johnson, they need his run. Collingwood into attack. Tarrant, the sit's got it. He turns around quickly. Chance for Batheris, has to use it. He drills it. Davis knocked away beautifully. Tarrant, they need a goal from him. Went to his right, left, back to his left, then chips in, and Rocker will mark it. So they've retained possession. Short to Buckley. Shocking kick in the end. It's into the pocket, and it will go over the line. Just not going Collingwood's way at the moment. A lot of pressure out there. So the mindset of Collingwood is one of a lot of pressure, and that has all been due to certainly the Adelaide Crows. The seed has been planted. They need a goal as we go into half-time. 26 minutes, second quarter. Again, Stengline, beautiful option to the boundary, not a problem, and we get another contest and a boundary throw in, half forward, Collingwood into attack.
6-6 then to 3-7.
So even back behind the play, McKee playing a kick behind the play, but Matthew Clark alongside McKee off screen.
Fraser with a bit more experience in the ruck there though, and that could give them a chance to escape here. O'Brien again, Mob.
I'm just trying to look for positives for the Pies. They probably can't go any worse than they are at the moment, and they're only 3 goals down.
Well, that's the thing.
That is looking for positives, isn't it? Yes, Fraser grabbing the ball, giving them a clearance. Davis just got a yard here on Smart. Will he go for home? Well, he thought about it, and he thought, I'll have a crack. And he is in the team for kicking goals. Maybe the wrong decision, Sauce.
Well, I think he had to have a go on his left foot.
Just no players in support. That's their problem at the moment. Players, once it gets inside 50, one of the rare times they're able to win possession, that there are no players in support. They have to go alone.
Switch up, McGregor, now Johncock. Ahead, the Magpies are reasonably tight. Stengline goes in short to provide one option. Smart getting away here from Tarrant. Trying to track him through the centre of the ground.
That's the difference in this game. It's the running of the Crows out of defence compared to Collingwood, which is non-existent.
Oh, that was courage from Scotland. He did it without giving away the free. Lockyer, intricate kick for Johnson, who's starting to give them something. Mercurio nowhere near as dominant as he has been. His 10th possession, though. Davis is away. Needed a kind Bance. Attacked it well. Shrugged it. Tackled nicely. Fraser worked well. Magpies. Batheris.
Silver moon is out of sight, and the golden sun has come.
Earth, what you'd eat if you lived on Mars.
Well, one of the rare times Collingwood have been able to work it off half-back and through the middle of the ground. No surprise that they've been able to put it on the scoreboard. It's back to 11 points. Scoreboard pressure, as they call it, as simple as that. And just reward. Crows went back into attack. And gone. That's harsh. Did he get the opportunity? Ryan Loney will end up with it. Normally a beautiful user. Now they've got a little bit of run. Certainly pep in their step. All it takes is a goal. Lucuria will bomb it in long. They need a mark. Rocker, here he comes. Oh, dropped it on the way down. It was all his, and he wasn't able to put it away. Burton will just keep it in. And out of danger, really, Anthony Rocker should have swallowed that one. Had to sit, no pressure, no body contact from the Crows defenders. And Stevens dropped it in the end. Loney, hands off to Wakeland. Will he use it? Chips up, they have to wait. Rocker, second bite at it, and didn't come down with it. McGregor, so off the hook again, Crows. Into the middle of the ground, McLeod there, free ball, did he have it? McLeod did beautifully, off the ground, inside 50, Welsh slapped it over, Rashudo, look out Collingwood, around 2, Rashudo around 3, took a bounce, steadies, and that is not a good finish. Waved all over the place, minor score, and really Collingwood should have been at one end scoring, and they were nearly made to pay for their misses.
Well, Rocker had 2 attempts of marking a ball. Should have really held them.
Just a few promising signs, though, for the Pies. What they need is one more goal before half-time. They only go in one behind, and then they might feel they can actually achieve something in the second half. Lucuria marking the shortest of kick-ins, barely the 15. Had an option or two close, but he goes longer. McKee's got to go here. He did, but all Crows at ground level. The Collingwood debris getting up. Oh, Clement took his eyes off the footy to try and clear the path for Buckley. They still haven't been able to clear the defensive area, though. Smart. He was composed. He just lingered long enough to make sure he gave them another option up forward. Burton. Aggressive stuff, but the Magpies keep their feet that time. And they've got Burns away through the middle of the ground. Scotty Burns pumping it long. They need a mark. Rocker. Great spoil that time by Crow. A mismatch in size, but not in determination. Tarrant came through. The Crows shot on top. Clark's got on his back. No. The Magpie army stand and yell. But it seemed like a pretty fair decision. 12 points the difference. 43 seconds remaining. Let's have a look at it. Was it in the back?
Oh, well, that's in the back.
Well, I don't think there was body contact, though. I think it was Burns that went to ground. I think he conceded that he had been grabbed. But Anthony Rocker's inability to hold on to the ball.
Here we go. Here we go with Scotland lining up. And Scotland gets the goal.
It's amazing what respect you get when you've got 3 Carlton drafts in your hand. Not surprising, really. Lovely stuff. As fresh as a beer can get. Watch this. A lot of people wonder how Moses parted the Red Sea. It's 3 Carlton drafts. Nothing to do with his staff. Had that under his arm. Forgot the nuts. Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. Draft beer at its best.
So Scotland able to finish, and as we head into half-time, 33 minutes, second quarter, Collingwood able to pull the Crows in. It's back to 6 points. Great contest a little bit earlier to manufacture that goal. It was a third man up out of the set play. Collingwood go back in. Buckley's in the area, and we get a ball up. Still in the middle of the ground.
The big thing that stands out, if Collingwood can get it in quick and deep, it puts the Adelaide defenders under pressure.
It was actually Nathan Buckley, third man up a little bit earlier. Burton this time thumps it forward. O'Brien sharking it, and this is where they're starting to turn it around. Lucuria out wide. Matthias has been busy. Started on the bench as a siren goes for half-time. Players continue to go. And we have a terrific game of football. Crows looked up. They were starting to run away with it. And 2 late goals from the Pies. Having a 6-point lead at half-time. 6-7, 43 to Adelaide. The Pies 5-7, 37.
Well, it was the Crows early in that particular quarter. They looked dominant, particularly in their midfield.
Listen to the hoots from the crowd. That, of course, is for the umpires, with the free kick count being 15-4.
Oh, yeah, it looks a little bit one-sided, but certainly full credit to the Pies. They got 2 late goals in that quarter and has put themselves back into the game.
Well, they looked gone, didn't they, at one stage? They looked dead on their feet, but they kicked 2 late goals, and the Magpies are in the game. The Adelaide Crows leading by a goal at half-time. 15 times they've led at half-time this year. They've won 14 of them. Will they do it today? We'll find out soon enough.
Monday night's about to go all
sex, drugs and football. But sport's nothing compared to the games these wives play.
She takes her top off for a living. She's an old lush. Her dirty secret would make your hair curl.
The betrayal.
The scandal.
The accents.
I saw myself all over the tabloids in the knickers over my head.
All new, seriously addictive Monday night melodrama.
Footballers' Wives, coming to Mondays on 10.
Carlton draft, please. Perfect.
Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. Draft beer at its best.
The 2 biggest forces in equipment hire have come together to give you more equipment, better service, and the best advice and knowledge from local people you know and trust. Call 13 18 10. Coates and Rec Air, delivering higher value.
Still power, not just for professionals.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
My kids are the most important thing in the world to me. Then I had that car accident last year on the way to see a client. I was flat on the back for 6 months, broken pelvis. Doctor said I was lucky to be alive. But, you know, I'm a single dad. I just couldn't give up. Thanks to Stringer Clark. They gave me financial peace of mind which allowed the kids to be cared for.
Stringer Clark have been working for injury accident victims for over 25 years. If you've been injured and need expert advice, talk to Stringer Clark today. Expert advice close to home.
Wink, wink, body winks.
In need of a good night's sleep?
We can help you today.
Most of our beds come with a 5-year guarantee.
We're part of Australia's biggest bed buying group. That means lower prices to you.
In Ballarat, Horsham and Warrnambool, 40 Winks have the range, the value and everything that's good in beds.
Wink, wink, body winks.
The Regent Multiplex Gold Class Cinema provides the ultimate in entertainment for you and your friends, or that someone special. An evening of indulgence with first-class food and service and superior comfort in luxurious recliners. With a wall-to-wall screen and explosive digital sound, watching the latest blockbuster films has never been more enjoyable. And why not book Gold Class for that next corporate function or social gathering? Be treated like a star at the Regent Multiplex Gold Class Cinema.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
Well, they've been on the road for 4 weeks, the Adelaide Crows. They led by 3 goals at one stage and were steaming ahead. I wonder how they're feeling at half-time, and I wonder how their opponents are feeling. The Magpies, who kicked the last 2 goals of the quarter to stay in touch. after kicking the first two of the first half. 5-7, 37 to 6-7, 43 at halftime here at the MCG. Preliminary final number 1. Dakes, was an exciting start for Collingwood with Josh Fraser kicking the first 2 goals.
Well, they were able to readjust. They certainly started beautifully. Couldn't have asked for a better start, and I just felt they were certainly winning that contest at the feet of a lot of the stoppages. But then Adelaide really took over. I thought they gave too much room to McLeod. Certainly Ricciuto started getting a bit of ball. Goodwin, they were running off the fence, and in the end they were putting it on the scoreboard.
Well, there's Fraser with his opening 2 goals. Andrew McLeod, how have you assessed his game today?
Well, look, I think he's been very good. He's got a lot of the ball. I'd like to see him get it a little bit closer to goal. He certainly hasn't carried it as he normally does.
That's probably the only thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, he's not getting away as clearly as he'd like. He's still winning possession, and more so today, he's actually handing off.
Shane O'Bree's been important for Collingwood. When they weren't going that well, he was still working really hard.
Well, it's just so important that you have a player that puts his hand up or he's able to win possession of the ball. And when you look at the scoreboard now, it's probably O'Bree's contribution as they were battling that probably kept them in this game.
And Scotland's been another one who's important. But for the Crows, Edwards, he got injured, but he is an important player, so he's one they'll miss if he doesn't come back on.
Oh, for sure. Certainly, he's proved that throughout the season, and not only this season, many, many seasons. He's a terrific player. He tends to get under the guard a little bit, and he's a player that does win a lot of possessions and set, as he did Burton on that occasion, set his teammates up.
Yeah, the Crows have been so many experienced finals players, haven't they? And they've been leading the way, and Mark Ricciuto, the captain.
Oh, he's just a fabulous player. He's a bullocker. He's a player that's able to certainly stamp his influence on a game of football. And above all else, and I made mention before the game, that he's a midfielder that kicks goals, and he, along with Goodwin and McLeod, are players that have to be continually watched because they do score. Not only win possession of the ball, they score goals.
We talked before the game about Anthony Rocker and how important he has to be for Collingwood today. He's made a few crucial errors, hasn't he? And this one, well, it looked like it was really going to come back to haunt them.
Well, the game's a tight one, isn't it? Not a lot in it at the moment. We're not in for possibly a high-scoring game. He got his hands to the ball on about 3 occasions late in that second quarter. He really should have taken possession of the ball, and when he's able to win possession, he really does have to finish, especially from set plays.
What can you see in the stats?
Well, there's nothing in it at the moment. Probably the one that stands out clearly is the free kicks. I don't read a lot into it. I don't think they've had a unfair advantage, Adelaide. They've certainly put themselves in. They've worked pretty hard. But I think it just gets back to basically where they're winning possession of the football, certainly early in that second quarter, Adelaide, and the type of quality possessions. And with nothing in the stats, that's what it's all about. It's about quality possessions.
Well, we talked about Tyson Edwards. Let's find out the latest on the injuries on both fronts. But first of all, Adelaide, and here's Mark Aston.
Yeah, it's not ideal for Tyson Edwards. Hutto, he, as we saw when he came off, he clearly had a blood nose, but then the medical staff were looking after him for pretty well most of that quarter. They were really concentrating on his forehead and his cheeks and also his eye sockets, and I can tell you that when he was walking across the ground at half-time, he was being assisted. So I don't think he'll come back. Brian Binky had an injection in the right ankle. He looks okay. Let's head over to the Collingwood rooms. Christy.
Thanks, Mark. Well, the only injury concern for Collingwood in the first half was Chris Tarrant. He was tackled to the ground in the first quarter, hit his head really heavily on the ground and ended up with a pretty sore neck and a sore knee. They've worked on that throughout the first half, and they'll continue the treatment in the rooms in this half-time break. But as you saw in the second quarter, he was determined to stay out there, and he will do so in the second half as well. Well, the team, when they came off the ground, they had their heads up, they were patting each other on the back, and they were saying, we've got to get back in this in the second half. Anthony.
Thanks, Christy. This is all the start of a massive week in football, and Monday night, Dakes, I asked you last week, you got the frock now?
Yes, Monday, September 23rd. Looking forward to it.
Well, it'll be a fantastic night at Colonial Stadium, so something different. It's going to be a great coverage, that, of course, coming up on Network 10. We'll take a break from the MCG. Very exciting game at the moment. Some great highlights from the first half.
The all-new 3-litre Holden Rodeo is creating a storm. With diesel economy, reliability and long life, the new 3-litre Rodeo comes with 29% more power and 17% more torque. So now the Rodeo is even tougher. You're sure to get the job done. The new 3-litre intercooled turbo diesel Rodeo. Now available at Bloods of Hamilton, Howden Holden Store and Reynolds Holden Portland.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
Independent Carpet Store's impressive reputation and range continues to grow. From our carpets and vinyls to our rugs and floating floor systems. It's all here. Our selection of local and imported ceramic wall and floor tiles is fantastic. Timber plank vinyls and window furnishings. 6 months interest-free and a free rug with every house lot.
Graham's Floor Service, Warrnambool. Kooringal Carpets and Tiles, Ballarat. Melbourne's Carpets, Portland. Brett's Carpets, Colac.
Homemakers Furniture Decoro Leather Sale. Rich Italian leather lounge suites and sofas upholstered over American hardwood frames. For leather suites and sofas, don't miss Homemakers Decoro Leather Sale.
Car loans. Certainly. Gold credit, making your money matter.
The Regent Multiplex Gold Class Cinema provides the ultimate in entertainment for you and your friends, or that someone special. An evening of indulgence with first-class food and service and superior comfort in luxurious recliners. With a wall-to-wall screen and explosive digital sound, watching the latest blockbuster films has never been more enjoyable. And why not book Gold Class for that next corporate function or social gathering? Be treated like a star at the Regent Multiplex Gold Class Cinema.
Been on the farm my whole life and never ever did I imagine that I could have been hurt. It was so fast. I don't remember being pulled out from under the tractor or the ambulance crew. I was told my rehabilitation could take at least 12 months, so naturally I worried about the farm. Stringer Clark were great. They obtained compensation for me, so all I really had to do was concentrate on walking again.
If you've been injured and need expert advice, talk to Stringer Clark today. Expert advice close to home.
Barry Foster Good Guys are having a September birthday sale. There's hundreds of specials store-wide, so grab a bargain on a top brand appliance. See in store for your chance to win a DVD or vacuum cleaner. Barry Foster Good Guys. Pay less, pay cash.
This telecast of the AFL Final Series brought to you by Holden Rodeo, Barry Foss, Coates and Rec Air Hire, 40 Winks, Jefferson Ford, Regent Multiplex, Davy Pumps, Still, and Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft.
Very interesting opening half from the MCG. There's plenty of celebrations, finals like celebrations. Gee, Heath Scotland liked that one, didn't he? At halftime at the moment, the margin is 6 points between Adelaide and the Pies. Adelaide in front. Well, of course, the winner plays in next week's grand final against either Brisbane or Port Adelaide. That's the match tonight. Many thought it was going to be the grand final, but it's the preliminary final, and you can catch it all tonight on 10.
Tonight on 10, the clash of 2002's undisputed powerhouses, the Brisbane Lions and Port Adelaide. For the winner, a shot at the title. For the loser, mothballs. The stakes simply don't get much higher than this. Can the power hit at the heart of these Lions again, as they did 3 weeks ago, when they took the champions' blows, but threw the more telling punches in the season's most compelling clash? The questions abound, as they always do, when a team finds itself running into this awesome Brisbane side at this imposing Lion stronghold. Led by the best in the business, inspired by a redoubtable veteran, ignited by the bleached magician, they pose the game's sternest test. Can the power cope? Tune in tonight to see who goes home and who goes on to the biggest show in town. Brisbane against Port Adelaide on your home of the AFL Grand Final, Channel 10.
Well, Steve, can they, are the Port a chance at all tonight, or will it be the power of Brisbane?
Well, they're a chance. They have to play 4 very good quarters, but I think Brisbane have been really the form team of the competition, and it's going to take every player for Port to get them over the line.
How will they approach it? Will they try and hit them hard early, or just really work hard through the game?
Well, I think they've just got to stick to their game plan. Their midfield's very good. They're up against probably the best midfield in the competition in Brisbane, but if they can win their fair share of ball out of the middle and get the ball down to their key forwards in Treadray and also Corns, well, they're a chance.
Wings.
Yeah, there's some great matchups, isn't there?
Well, Lepage, Tredrea, two All-Australians this year. And the big other matchup, I think, who will line up on Alistair Lynch? Been in very good form over the last month. Will it be Paxman? Will it be Wakeland? I think it'll be Wakeland.
Who are you tipping?
Oh, I'm going to go for Brisbane. They're a very good side.
Well, of course, the winner plays on Grand Final day here, and we've got a big Grand Final lineup for you, starting with the official Grand Final breakfast, beware of imitations, live from Colonial Stadium. Lots of guests there. It's the tradition of Grand Final morning. I know you'll be there, won't you, Steve?
I'll be there nice and early.
Yeah, getting into the cornflakes and all the rest of it. And then I know you'll be part of this team. We're going to have a great day from outside the MCG. All the atmosphere, lots of special guests joining us, and we might even let Dakes in as well.
We'll see if we can sneak him in.
Well, they're the Crows. They're ready to come out onto the ground as we get ready for the third quarter here from the MCG. They're taking on Collingwood, and at the moment, it's the Crows leading by 6 points. We're back here at the MCG shortly.
Live 7 o'clock tonight, a battle of the big boys. The Lions, last year's champions, and the Power, this year's top side in a must-win final. Live 7 o'clock tonight on your home of all the AFL finals, Channel 10.
With the power of a V6 Ford Escape, there are no boundaries.
Like most businesses these days, computers have taken over and tended to have passed the older fellows like me, and we need to get up to speed with those things. That was made much easier for me by accessing the Commonwealth Regional Information Service. They'll point you in the direction of a whole range of opportunities and services.
There are many Commonwealth programs and services available. All you need to know is where to look. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
From the lads growing trees to the guys in the yard, to find the best timber's no longer hard. With a huge range more than the rest, we grow our timber so we know it's best. See Magpie the best by far, 'cause Magpie has the best timber.
Make sure your injury gets the compensation it deserves.
Call Morris Blackburn Cashman on 1-800-642-566.
Is it a clearance? Is it a sale? No, it's a super sale! Ford AU2 is now from 22,888. Yes, AU2 is now from 22,888. Only at President Ford Elstonwick and Jefferson Ford South Melbourne and Mentone.
Hey, boss. I've written the new sports rider campaign. We'll show them the Commodore we load, then Jim Norton's Falcon. Oh, wow. The Subaru, and finally, the logo. Ralph, it's a duck. Yeah, Petters, specialists, you understand, and no bull.
Give your car sports handling and the right look with Petters Sports Rider Suspension.
How about a mouse? Ralph!
Is there an afterlife? One man will make you believe there is. He is John Edward.
Why is Niagara Falls significant?
Oh my God. The afterlife will be televised. Crossing Over, 8:30 Tuesday.
Well, Melbourne's really turned it on today. A magnificent day as we look back over the sporting precinct of Melbourne, Vodafone Arena, the tennis centre, and of course the heart of the sporting capital, the MCG, and it is at capacity today for this preliminary final. The Magpies are back on the ground after a fascinating opening half. They kicked the first 2 goals of the game, and then they hit back late with a couple of goals before half-time just to give them some hope. The Adelaide Crows already out, in fact, in position here at the MCG and ready to go. Well, Nathan Buckley, Steve, is obviously such an important part for the Magpies. You know he came into this game after his hamstring problems. All this took place within about 5 or 6 minutes. Lots of attention from the trainers.
Well, he's frustrated, isn't he? The runners come out on a number of occasions, and Stengeline's done a terrific job on him, and there's no doubt that he's a frustrated player. He was a frustrated player out there in that second quarter. But we see here, OK, this is a little 1%er. Bang, he's been out of the contest. He's third man in. He gets the ball on going, and Scotland kicks a goal. It's quite easy. All week it's been told that Buckley, after injury, comes back and gets 25, 30 possessions. It's not about that. It's about doing a little thing, setting a foundation. That little knock on there has set that foundation for Buckley to play a normal game.
8 possessions only for Nathan Buckley, but as you said, I mean, they looked gone, didn't they, the Magpies? And he was one of the ones that were able to inspire them.
Well, 2 areas of the game that they did improve late in that second quarter. One was they got a little bit of movement off half-back. They worked the ball into the middle part of the ground. The 2 goals came from actually running the ball through the central part of the ground. And the other one was that they're not allowing their ruckman out to dry. They're getting the third man up and pushing that ball forward into an area.
Second half from the MCG. The destiny of Adelaide and Collingwood on the line for season 2002. Scotland, who was so good in the second quarter, getting them going. Steinfort, Batheris. He was waiting for the pressure to come, it didn't. Davis and Rocker are down in the square. He goes for Davis. He's got there. Leon Davis, who we haven't seen a great deal of. 5 possessions. And just the one behind so far today. What a kick this is now.
Yeah, important kick. Gets them back to level, but nice, quick movement. Like Davis had plenty of space. Batheris was keen to get back off the mark, enabled Davis to have plenty of space of running too.
Kicked 3 goals in the last match against Port Adelaide, and he's got the important one. The first one.
Say hello to your Tyre Power Pro for great deals on the full range of quality Kelly tyres. There's one to suit your vehicle, whatever you drive. Value for money, you can't go past Kelly. So check out our tough Australian-made Kelly passenger radials, the famous Safari range of 4-wheel drive tyres, and the Kelly light truck range. For great deals on Kelly tyres at one of our 230 stores around Australia, call 13 21 91 and
say hello to your Tyre Power Pro.
So touch of deja vu for the Pies. They've started the third as they did that first. Just so important they put it on the scoreboard. And the Crows, 4 goals, 6 in that second quarter. May come back to haunt them. They've allowed Collingwood back in. They've improved out of the middle. Biglands spends a little bit of time. He'll no doubt be asked to re-emerge and finish this game off. Buckley out of the middle. Collingwood ever so slightly into attack across the ground. They have numbers. Scotland let it go and then goes back in again to Lockyer. As a player, concedes by hand. Free kick to Collingwood, so no advantage. It's coming back to Tartan Lockyer.
Needs to get it in quick here.
And there's plenty of space just inside 50. Leon Davis gives the lead. Rocker on his way out now. That's where he heads. It'll bounce. Didn't get there. Did well beautifully to just control it. Steinfort into the air. It's out in front of Tarrant. Chance to run onto it. The left footer. Will he go back that way?
Great tackle.
Dropped it in the end. Should have been a free. Never mind. Goodwin to mop up. And into space. Rashudo will run onto it. Let it run. Players' hands and knees. Mark Stevens has been quiet to Smart. Back to the Roo. Rashudo supplying inside. Beautiful kick, Welsh. Got it to half-forward Crows. One more kick and their chance at goal. That's a great kick, and Bassett accommodates a good kick, and he will line up. Bassett has one, and a chance for the Crows to take the lead.
Well, hasn't he turned his game around, Nathan Bassett? The course started off on Josh Fraser. Here taking a mark on a lead.
Nathan Bassett has never kicked more than 2 goals in his career, Dakes. He's got 2 already. As I said, he kicked 2 last time against Collingwood. It's a big kick for him.
Gee, they had a guy in the grand final quite a few years ago that finished with 5 goals.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so an unlikely hero could be Nathan Bassett. Goal number 2, it is. It is a goal, and the Crows have the lead again.
Carlin and Gazzard, more car for your money. 1998 VT Commodore V6 with ABS brakes, 1 owner, choice of 32, 17,990. 1999 AU Falcon Update, power windows, cruise control, ABS brakes and more, 16,990. 1999 Honda Accord VTI with dual airbags, cruise, ABS and power windows, low Ks, 23,990. Carlin and Gazzard, Mount Gambier, the home of good cars.
Well, he's a volatile character. He is full of animation, Nathan Bassett, and he's got an important goal for the Crows. 6 points the difference. Centre clearance the Magpies' way. It's coming back, and Nathan Buckley starting to have an impact on the game. He's had a couple of early touches in the 3rd quarter.
McKee's not going inside 50, which naturally keeps Matthew Clark from plugging up holes.
They're breaking from the square. Fraser, bit flat-footed as he got to the ball. Oh, crunch. Good work from John Cock. Fraser recovered beautifully. The kick is online. Oh, they're up and about the Magpies.
Wink, wink, 40 winks.
Are you confused about what sort of bed to buy?
We can help you today.
We can personally deliver and install your new bed.
We're part of Australia's biggest bed buying group. That means lower prices to you.
In Ballarat, Horsham and Warrnambool, 40 Winks have the range, the value and everything that's good in beds.
Wink, wink, 40 winks.
Well, there's Dennis Pagan. I can tell you commentary's become a contact sport. Next to Peter Dacos as the Magpies fire up.
So back in the middle. They've been better out of the centre of the ground now. It'll come out. Crows with a chance. They miss Prosciutto coming through. He's actually passed the ball. Buckley to Wakeland off half-back. Out in front of Scotland, who has been good and has certainly given them certainly the run with his legs. Inside, Tarrant working his way. Didn't have it in the end. Chris Tarrant, Ben Hart.
Just needs to keep working, Chris Tarrant. Things will happen for him if he keeps working.
Ben Hart with intentions purely for the man. Runs in with the body. Not a lot in that. I think it was near the end of that contest where he grabbed Tarrant.
He should have a shot here.
So Tarrant, this will take a decent kick. He'll have to kick this from about 55.
Magpies have had 3 free kicks to nil in this quarter.
And is he able to find something special in a final? It'll go to the right, and that's where it stays. And with that, Collingwood are in front. 6.5 minutes, just under 7 minutes, 3rd quarter. And the tables have turned. The Crows under the pump now.
Almost for Chris Tarrant, not quite. The Crows going in short. They've got numbers here on the overlap. Prosciutto trying to lead his team back. Up to the wing, into the space. No mark for Clark. And so the Magpies, good desperation shown by Goodwin. Who's going to win the hot ball? Clark was strong and purposeful as he heads towards goal. Plenty of Crows lurking. Burton and Welsh. He turned him inside out, Scotty Welsh. And he's taken the mark. The man who started the season so well, kicking 26 goals in the first 10 weeks to lead their goal kicking. And he's been back for a few weeks now. Hasn't looked the same player, but today, 3 possessions, 1 goal.
Just did that well, Welsh.
That's his 4th mark for the day, so even though he's only had, this will be his 4th touch, they've all come from marks, and he is a deadly accurate kick. 27 goals, 7 going into today, so 28 goals, 7 now for the year. To give the Crows back the lead. Scotty Welsh misses. Scores level again. What a tense afternoon it is for supporters of both teams. 7-8-50, Collingwood and Adelaide in front of 85,000 people at the MCG.
Just on that last play that won Welsh that ball, Jason Clegg just running and worrying about the play more so than where the ball was. Johnson will chip up. McKee has to mark. Washudo will contest. And well done, McKee, on the Loney, on the Steinford. Now a little bit of run coming from the Pies into half forward. Players will wrestle. A hand to a Josh Fraser. Does well to Matheras. Does he drill or go at goal? He goes at goal. It's coming. It's coming for a goal. That is a beauty. That is what...
Still, we're cutting everything, including our prices, like Mini Boss from only $399 or Wood Boss from just $585 and Farm Boss from only $899. So get the real deal today at your nearest Still specialist dealer.
A touch of Dacos, perhaps, in Rupert Batheros' goal, and Batheros as well. 56-50, the Magpies back with the momentum. Nathan Buckley trying to lead the way out of the middle. Can the Crows respond now? They were leading by 3 goals in the second quarter. They appeared to be in control of this game, but the Magpies have wrested that back, and Steve McKee has been so important for them, this battle with Clark, and I wonder if Gary Ayres will go back to Rhett Biglan's now.
And that's a good point, Hutto, because it's one thing to start a game well in a final, but if you've been down and able to find something when it matters, that's another thing.
They're putting the pressure on, and it is showing. Glenn Freeborn, he's the final specialist. He's done it 3 times in the grand final, and now he's kicked one in the preliminary. A premiership player with the Roos has given the Magpies a 2-goal advantage, and once again Steve McKee started it with the tap, the ball jolting loose, and it was all ahead of Glenn Freeborn, and he was bang on line.
And you can throw Nathan Buckley into that equation. He called the course of spillage from his tackle, which enabled Freeborn to kick that goal.
So 3 possessions for the quarter, Buckley, and they've all been influential.
Well, you talk about finding something. That's been a difference so far. Freeborn, Ryan Loney is starting to get a little bit of the ball, so important. The other one is Steve McKee. So the ball will come down. Scotland shielding the ball, then goes back in, dribbles it inside to the half-forward line. Josh Fraser to Buckley. Through the traffic, couldn't get clear. Well done, John Cock. Off the ground and out of danger. Loney takes the front position. Great contest. John Cock goes to ground. Laddam's in support. Beautiful clean skills. Took it and then bombs in long. Looking for Burton. He'll come out. He'll jump. Welsh does well to back. Players go in. Freeborn and Bassett. How do you do? Loose ball. Burton back in there for a second bite, and we will get a ball up 25 from the Crows' goal.
Bassett's hurt there. I think it came from Freeborn. Clash of bodies.
Well, they've had every centre clearance this quarter so far, Dakes.
So they need a goal. That's what they're looking for. Collingwood will give nothing at the moment. And a little bit of run Loney. This is the guy they want with the ball. Normally beautiful with his skills, certainly his kicking skills. He's carried it just over centre.
Oh, great kick.
And Rocker has got it. And look out, because this is his range.
Well, this is a man, if he stands up, they're going to be very hard to beat.
Here we go. It goes up. Oh, it's up.
Still power, not just for professionals.
Get a super spring special, get 2 large features, a 1 litre camera, ice cream, first till it's nothing, and get a 1.25 Coke free.
Now 13151, Picky Saxon.
And we made mention what a luxury he would be. Consistently the only player that's able to kick a goal or at least make the difference or distance from outside 50.
The Magpies lead by 18. Enter Rhett Biglan's. He's won the tap, trying to turn it around out of the middle for the Crows. They are being swamped at the moment, Adelaide. They need some run. They need some grunt out of the middle. Massey kicks for the Burton lead. Couldn't provide. They're winning the contest, the Magpies, at the moment. They're going in hard. They're clearing the ball. And here's Lacuria. Oh, not a great kick. Fraser made a contest.
Well done.
McKee again. Johnson kept on running. He's worked really hard, Johnson. McKee up towards full forward. Batheris! I'm not sure if you can hear me, Steve, but Rupert Batheris, he was terrific in the game against Brisbane earlier in the year. He kicked 3 goals. It was a finals-like game. He came on the ground last week against Port Adelaide and he kicked 2 important early goals, and he kicked that sensational one before. They're yelling "Root, root, root" from the crowd. And he missed. Oh dear.
Well, let off for the Crows, similar to that second quarter, and it is the quarter that will come back to bite them on the backside, because they should have been further in front. 2 late goals, and Collingwood have taken control this third quarter. That was in that second quarter. Johnson, they need him firing. He's certainly been down towards wing. McGregor will come out, backing back is McLeod, and he'll take the mark, and he's down, and oh no, I think he's gone. He came into the game under a cloud, and it may have been an ankle or toes.
Oh, he is in terrible pain.
And I don't think there is any more for Andrew McLeod in this game. He looks in a lot of trouble.
That's his ankle.
Well, you need your things either go against you or with you, and at the moment things are starting to go Collingwood's way.
Don't forget though, this is a similar scenario to last week. Melbourne were up, they were running, they had the momentum. Andrew McLeod was injured, he was off the ground, and Adelaide still prevailed, so don't forget that.
Oh, that's his ankle.
Oh, well, there are no chances next week. This is it. So you put yourself on the line, and you might be right, Hutto, and I think you are. I think McLeod, although he's getting on the stretcher, so one of their premier ball carriers now falls by the wayside, so it is going Collingwood's way.
Don't forget they've already got Benke off the ground and Tyson Edwards.
What it has done though, Collingwood were on a bit of a roll. It has slowed them down.
Let's get down to Mark Haston for a bit of a feeling from the sidelines. Mark?
Yeah, they're trying to feel upbeat here, the Crows. There's the bench, what is there, 5, 6, 8 guys on the bench as they watch now with Andrew McLeod being put on the buggy. No smiles, and there's 5, 6, 7 guys around Andrew McLeod, including the team, Dr. Brian Santo. He doesn't look happy at all. I mean, obviously, this is a major blow.
An extraordinary turnaround in this game since midway through the second quarter. We talked earlier about how fickle the game is.
And it's about taking your opportunity. The Crows had that opportunity in the second quarter, 4 goals, 6, and they weren't able to put Collingwood away. And really, they should have been at least 4 goals up, I think, at half-time, easily.
Yep. Well, no one likes to see that. A man who's won 2 Norm Smith medals, led the Crows to 2 premierships. He shines in these circumstances. As we mentioned, he came into the game with an injury cloud, and that looks like it will be it for the day. I wonder if it will be for the season or not for McLeod and the Adelaide Crows. Everybody on the ground is ahead of Brett Biglan's here as he kicks to half forward and finds a teammate, Simon Goodwin. Goodwin for the day, 11 possessions, so down on his normal output. Searching for Burton, Prestigiacomo, Cloak. They've worked very hard. Bode, Dowdy waiting for it if it happens to spill out. It doesn't. Let's get back to Mark Haston.
Looks as though they're down to 20 men. The Crows, Tyson Edwards at the moment doesn't look as though he's coming back on. He's on his tracksuit, or in his tracksuit, and of course Andrew McLeod off. So the Crows, we reckon, down to 20 men.
Lots of numbers around the footy here. It's an interesting atmosphere, isn't it, around the ground? So she mentioned it. I mean, everyone a bit stunned and with the way Collingwood were playing, but that incident has just really made things a bit more stagnant.
Well, the momentum has stopped, certainly with Collingwood, but it's just slowed the game up, and it was a good chance for Adelaide just to take stock.
Well, we know what they did last week. They came flying home against Melbourne. So the margin is 19.
And the thing is, that was played at night, and we've made mention of the travel, and consider the weather today. It's pretty warm, so it may be starting to take its toll on the Crows at the moment. Loose ball. They will run it away again, Collingwood. Free ball just over wing. Supplies in. Rocker will have to climb. He does. That should have been a free to McGregor. Loose ball, John Cock. Back to Member's side. Chips up, Welsh. Badly need a goal. McGregor's hurt back behind the play after Anthony Rocker collided. Biglands back onto Welsh. So just holds it up and then bangs it in long. All Collingwood. Loney will jump against his own man, Clement. It'll bounce into the arms of Freeborn. Does well, concedes back to Buckley. The skipper has been better. Cross goal. Well done. Across the ground, I should say. Lacuria. Chance now and room we have. Tarrant loads up into the forward line. Josh Fraser, ball drifts away from him. Goes back in for a second bite. At the feet of his teammate there. Not able to take it. Tarrant looking to the body contact. It's inside 50 and there will be a ball up. 20 minutes just under third quarter. Rocker into McGregor. He'll afford to lose another player. Not too many left. It's a free. Johnson out wide and having to go back over. Welsh has had a bit of the ball, but wrong part of the ground. He's in defence.
This is John Cock in space. Ahead, he can only see Laddams and now Rashudo to full forward. They need someone to take a mark. Stevens in the front position again. Wonderful spoil from Wakeland, who's been magnificent across halfback. Really controlled things. Johnson linking up with Prestigiacomo. Stein for the tough task here. Welsh with the spoil. Did that well, thrusting it forward. McKee, and it's over the line and out of bounds.
Ben Johnson has been terrific. Steve McKee has certainly lifted. Ben Johnson has been a very good player, providing a little bit of run, working into space, and the other one is Ryan Loney.
And the other one you should put in there is Wakeland, being very disciplined today.
For 3 quarters.
So it's Biglands versus McKee again. Adelaide, they need a spark right now. They need to do what Collingwood did in the second quarter, and that was just find a goal from somewhere, pluck one out.
And the other player that has been good, Hutto, Heath Scotland. He was a player through that second quarter, I thought, that probably got under their guard a little bit and provided a little bit of run. Here he is.
Timing is everything, Dakes. Buckley up to the wing. Fraser, McGregor's recovered well. Able to ease into the mark. He had Doughty flying past for him. Had a terrific season, Michael Doughty. Through the middle, Hart trying to lift them. Here's a chance for Welsh. Got away from Cloak. He's taken his 5th mark of the day. We saw him miss that one before. He needs to get this now.
He does. Very important goal, this one for the Crows. They've seen their champion midfielder McLeod go off the ground. They need something to hang their head on. Should the ball go up the other end and Collingwood kick a goal, well, the game could almost be over.
They need Ben Hart, as he did on that occasion. He won possession of the ball on that wing outer side. If they can get it to him, he will provide run and certainly use it.
On the brink of his distance here, Scotty Welsh. It may not make it. Stevens from the side. Good contest again. It's Wakeland who prevails, and Scotland. And those two unlikely heroes have been wonderful this afternoon. Listen to the applause and appreciation from Collingwood. Now, Collingwood have got their problems with injuries. Nick Davis is off the ground. Christie.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, we don't exactly know what's wrong with Nick Davis. He came off the end of the last quarter. We see him standing up now, but he has been sitting on the bench with the towel over him and not doing any of the warm-up laps. So it looks like talking on the phone, he might be coming back on soon.
So throwing on the wing, the score at the moment, 10-9, 69 Collingwood, 7-8, 50 Adelaide.
So stacks on the mill, and we will get just behind wing, just favouring the Crows. A ball up. Nick Davis. Very good first half. Certainly had a few opportunities. Late goal. He probably started it late in that second quarter. He kicked the first of 2. McKee will wrestle. Biglands. Could have been a free. Fresh air shot in the end. It was actually Kane Johnson No, it was Bigland. So it'll go to Collingwood again. So not sure what the free kick count is at the moment, but starting to balance out a little bit. It's out in front of Tarrant. He's got it.
It's 4-1 this quarter to Collingwood. Dakes the free kick count.
So Rocker into the pocket. Not able to take it. Smart does well. They need to run this away. Oh, Rocker did well. Back towards the square. They need a mark, and well done in the end. Kane Johnson did beautifully. Third man up. Cross that pack to take a much-needed mark.
The Crows digging deep here at the MCG. They're now streaming forward. This is Chris Massey up to the wing. He's got a man. Welsh is... Well, Cloak does zone off a bit. He plays a fair way away from his opponent, doesn't he? And they're starting to go through Welsh. We know that Cloak reads the ball so well when it comes in, but it does give his opponent a chance. Very wide, searching kick. Burton exploring all parts of the forward line. He's not let it go there, though. It was over on the full. Clement releasing it to Cloak. Now, will that be 50? No, the umpire says it's OK. 7-8-50 Adelaide. They've kicked 1 goal in the quarter. Collingwood have kicked 5, and they're 10-9-69. Tarrant working really hard for them across half forward at the moment. Nick Davis is back on the ground. He's up and going. Long kick to full forward. Leon Davis is down there to try and lift them. The height-favoured crowd. Rashudo digging deep. John Cock on the way out. Bode running for him on the wing. The Crows trying their guts out. Bassett leading up the ground. Turns across half forward. He had a couple of leading options. Laddams back into the middle of the ground. Bassett, they're going nowhere fast. Standing kick from Goodwin. Cloak. Mark Payne. Jason Cloak, the desperado across half back.
Well, they've supported them each other very well, the Collingwood defenders, getting across, helping each other, putting blocks on.
They need Goodwin certainly getting his hands to the ball and running, and Rashudo is the other man at the moment. They're chasing the Collingwood players around. They've got it on wing, free ball with time. He can move in. Tarrant will give a lead. He will head in towards goal. It's inside 50, bump ball Steinford. Batheris is there, gives a contest as always, then slaps it out. It's good as a possession, grabbing hold of it. Nick Davis. Crows should get out of danger. McGregor has it and just comes out too high. Fraser Duff. So good decision to allow the play to go on. Crowell out wide and wrapped up by Leon Davis. It's out wide. Hart's under pressure. Can't take it. Does now. Does beautifully Ben Hart. Onto the running Biglands. That's what they need off half back. Well done, Johnson came straight at the ball, then kept going, then hands off. Mercuria short and Tarrant has it. So he can go to the square. That's what the Collingwood fans are hovering for. They had a player back there. It was Nick Davis, so Tarrant certainly will have to work here. Inside Batheris.
Mark Stevens off for Adelaide. They've got both their ruckmen on the ground, Clark and Bigland.
So he winds up and to the square. Nick Davis will have to jump. Rocker's already there. Rocker can't take it. Nick Davis has got it. Wrapped up in the end. And it was Dowdy joining the defending there for the Crows. It's right next to that behind post. Collingwood still with a chance. Just under 27 minutes, third quarter. And a goal here. Boy, ask yourself whether they're able to get back the Crows. Still a bit of time. Does it stay in? It's a goal! Collingwood and Steinford has kicked the goal.
In the country, there are beautiful views, peace and quiet, serenity, and no pressure. But that's about to change. Introducing the new stainless steel home pressure system from Davey, the Dynaflow HS. Isn't it about time the country had a little more pressure? You can depend on Davey.
Steinford kicked the goal. What will Gary Ayres do? What can he do? He's down with numbers. Clark thrusts back into the ruck now, and the Crows get it out of the middle. To half forward, Goodwin's kick. It spills, and here's the goal kicker. Steinford going nowhere. John Cock. Dakes is already celebrating in the box. Might be too early, Peter.
Just stretching, Hutto. Just stretching.
11-9-75 Collingwood. Adelaide 7-8-50. Clark, Fraser, Freeborn, Desperation needed. Goodwin provided it. Stengline working hard. Johnson over the top. Another bounce.
The other player that has lifted is Glenn Freeborn, providing a contest, being good. In that last goal, Steinford actually was third man up. That's a part of their game that has been better since that second quarter. They haven't let their ruckman out there to dry. Steinford actually knocked it down, followed it up and kicked the goal.
Clark digging deep there for the Crows. Rashudo couldn't find a path. And this man, Ben Johnson, he has been magnificent in this quarter. Up to the wing, Buckley outnumbered. He shoved, he pushed, didn't give away the free. Bode, Massey, tried to shrug the tackle. Rugby-like play. Bode was pinned, got it away. Laddams had a couple of options, flying past. Oh, Rashudo barging his way through. Laddams approaching the square. Bassett down there as well. Welsh at the front. Great spoil by Cloak. Look at him go. Lifting the team. He wanted to get it off to Loney. He couldn't. He's under siege now. He could be in trouble. Ball up.
Oh. Would have been unfair had he played a free against him. He was swamped in the end. There was no way out.
I'd like to see it, Dakes.
He dives on it.
He holds
takes it to ground.
Still holds it.
And he is a very lucky boy.
Well, he's going to try and turn himself around and get the handball. He was laying on his back, so he's skillful, but not that skillful. That's a great tackle. And Goodwin, did he slap it out? Crows with a chance. Good pressure from the Crows at the moment. They give themselves a chance. Clement, lucky kick, lockout. Will run with it, will take a bounce. Just holding it up, just over wing. Moves in from behind Nick Davis. Will jump in the end. It'll come down. Trying to shrug his Tarrant, gave it up in the end. Buckley's in the area. Well done, Smart off the ground, out of danger. Bode out wide, they need a goal. Crows looking for it. Hart will chip and then run on. Goodwin into the middle of the ground. Johnson. Chance now. Again, just being held up. And I think one of the problems is options further down the ground. Collingwood getting back in numbers.
Only 5 seconds to go, Dates.
Dowdy. And naturally the players don't know as the siren goes. The mark is paid. John Cock a long way from home. So I think he's got much hope of scoring.
If body language is any indication, he has got no hope.
Well, the only thing that can be gained out of it is a stat. And what they do need is stats on that scoreboard. They trail by 25. It is three-quarter time. And only 1 quarter to go for Collingwood, and they are into a grand final. John Cock. Ready to load up. It's into the air and it falls well short. And we have three-quarter time with 1 to go. And Collingwood lead by 25.
Well, they do, and what a turnaround. 42-point turnaround for the Pies. They kicked 6 goals to 1 in that quarter. Outstanding in the midfield. Johnson was terrific on Rashuto. And what a game we've got ahead of us.
What a quarter by the Magpies. Will it be enough to take them into the grand final for 2002?
With the power of a V6 Ford Escape, there are no boundaries.
Still power, not just for professionals.
The two biggest forces in equipment hire have come together to give you more equipment, better service, and the best advice and knowledge from local people you know and trust. Call 13 18 10. Coates and Wreck Air, delivering higher value.
All I'm saying is, I don't know why everyone wants to eat the crispy M&Ms. I mean, I know I'm...
Sorry.
Dust. Pollen. Zyrtec for hay fever and allergies. Starts working in just 20 minutes. Lasts 24 hours. Zyrtec. Starts working in 20 minutes. Lasts 24 hours.
At SunGold Milk, all our milk comes naturally from the country, fresh and local. Local people working around the clock to bring you the freshest milk in the southwest. SunGold, local farms, local business, local people. SunGold, the freshest milk in the southwest by a country mile. Made by locals for the locals.
Is it a clearance? Is it a sale? No, it's a super sale! Ford AU2 is now from 22,888. Yes, AU2 is now from 22,888. Only at President Ford Elstonwick and Jefferson Ford South Melbourne and Mentone.
Why is using natural timbers from Victoria's forests good for the environment? It's renewable, recyclable, absorbs carbon and ultimately biodegradable. Surprisingly, timber harvesting occurs in much less than 1% of state forests per year, and every hectare harvested is regrown. Forest industries want legislation to maintain the current blend of conservation reserves, access and use. We encourage you to find out more. Spoken by Grant Piero, authorised by Pat Wilson, Melbourne.
We know what is life.
It's Country Kids Sale. Childcare Porticot, $99. Baby Love Car Seat, $159. Lay Flat Stroller, $99. And High-Low Chair, $99. Only at Country Kids.
Country Kids.
The all-new 3-litre Holden Rodeo is creating a storm. With diesel economy, reliability and long life, the new 3-litre Rodeo comes with 29% more power and 17% more torque. So now the Rodeo is even tougher. You're sure to get the job done. The new 3-litre intercooled turbo diesel Rodeo. Now available at Bloods of Hamilton, Howden Holden Store and Reynolds Holden Portland.
Collingwood have got 1 foot into the grand final next week. Anthony Rocker set the MCG alight with a massive bomb in that quarter. They kicked 6 goals in all, 6-2 to 1-1. And lead by 25 points. Now, we can see the ice vest there being used by the Magpies. They're in the shade. The Adelaide Crows, on the other hand, are in the sun. We can see the difference there as we ponder this last quarter who is going to have the fresh legs and so forth. That's the scenario. Collingwood, 11-9-75. Fraser with 3, Batheris 2. Adelaide, 7-8-50. Bassett, the surprise, with 3 goals up forward for the Crows. An amazing third quarter, Dakes. We had trouble keeping under control.
Well, look, terrific. And contrasting quarters, when you consider the second, I made a point of 4 goals, 6 by the Crows in that second quarter, compared to 6 goals, 2 by Collingwood. So it was their ability to finish off.
Now, these are the fresh legs, Steve.
Well, really, Benke looks like he's out of the game. Edwards is out of the game. They've got Bo to go to, who hasn't played much footy, but the other two are too talls, and really they just need some run.
The Magpies, on the other hand, I guess have been able to have most players up and running, and players like Scotland and Freeborn had an impact. We haven't seen much of Didak.
And that's a bonus for Collingwood. Certainly Freeborn lifted. Scotland very good from that second quarter on. Burns is another bonus that as the game draws to a close or as players get tired and there's not as much run, Burns will come into his own.
Let's get down to the boundary. Christian Mark.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, what an amazing sight for Collingwood at three-quarter time. Virtually only their defenders left standing. Every other player down on the ground being worked on by the trainers. Obviously, they want to make sure they have fresh legs in the last term. They've got full use of their bench, a few sore players, but no major injury concerns. Mark.
Jakes, I reckon you're right. I reckon the Adelaide Crows are down to 19 players. Andrew McLeod, Tyson Edward, Brian Binky is a query as well. Andrew McLeod, certainly the ankle. Tyson Edwards, I reckon he's got some concussion.
It's a daunting task in front of this big crowd, but the Crows have been here and done it before. Who could forget 97 when the Western Bulldogs, they were celebrating already. Remember, Libba was lifted up on the shoulders.
Yeah. Well, look.
And they fought back to win.
Just 1 quarter away from Collingwood. We've still got a hell of a lot of football to play, but 1 quarter away from realising a dream. I mean, as a kid growing up, all you ever think about is being part of a grand final.
McKee with the tap. Buckley, what a third quarter he played. He really ignited them, got them going. McGregor, Laddams has been handy. Good when they're the sort of names we need to call if Adelaide are to make an impact on this last term. Buckley again. Loney, he's dangerous like a rocker. He's all on his own. He's within range. He's got Burns over the top. Burns is clear and will take the mark. Scotty Burns. What a kick this is going to be.
Well, if you talk knockout blows, this will go awfully close to being just that. A lot of pressure, loose ball or the turnover, and that turnover was brought about because of Collingwood's ability to put themselves in. They wrestled that ball back, and then Burns ran forward, and now he has a chance to really make things awfully hard, if not near impossible for the Crows.
Scotty Burns. The moment has arrived. And he hits the post. 26 points the difference. One long quarter to go.
Well, the question is whether Adelaide can get up and win this game. They were 29 points down before three-quarter time when they were playing Melbourne last week.
So half forward, well done, third man up, Rocker thumped it forward, well done, Bode. Took it onto Rashudo. They need the roof firing. He had a big last quarter against the Demons. He got a touch, but very wayward. So Buckley will come up with it. Hands back to Lucuria. Fabulous year, fabulous player. And boy, does he give his all. Half forward, there too early. Holding his ground was Burns. Buckley mopping up around the corner, over the head of Dowdy, who's back there. McGregor slapped it back in the direction of Dowdy, who took the sting off to Hart under a lot of pressure. Kane Johnson has had a quiet afternoon and then goes to the boundary. And boundary throw in. So Collingwood get another bite at it.
Played a great game, Steinford. Done a great job on Kane Johnson.
So ball will come in. McGregor held his ground, then toe poked it out. Stengline, another quiet player. Kane Johnson hands off to Rashudo. Standing start, bombs in long. Biglands have to jump, one hand to it and never mark it. At ground level, Goodwin. This is where they need him. Bassett fends off beautifully around the corner. Cloak should mark and does. He had to sit in the end, and Collingwood are out of danger again.
Going very short, lots of numbers in the vicinity, but he's got one loose. O'Brien, who was so damaging early, has had 15 possessions now for the Pies. Tarrant versus Smart. Extra number for the Crows, so Smart applying the block. Massey back to Smart. Trying to invent an option for them, and he got one. Now Dowdy can carry the ball and get something going for the Crows. Laddams spearing it in for John Cock. Back in the square is Scotty Welsh. He has to go here. Welsh versus Cloak. Bassett is the third man.
Oh, yes!
Oh, astonishing mark!
That's what we need.
For Scotty Welsh.
Well, terrific mark. Better judgment than the other two players involved in that.
It's taken 8 marks for the day, Scotty Welsh, and he keeps the Crows' hopes alive.
In the country, there are beautiful views, peace and quiet, serenity, and no pressure. But that's about to change. Introducing the new stainless steel home pressure system from Davey, the Dynaflow HS. Isn't it about time the country had a little more pressure? You can depend on Davey.
So is that the goal that can reignite the Crows? 20 points, still a lot of football. And it's all about putting it on the scoreboard and gaining a little bit of confidence. And we've seen that in that second quarter when Collingwood turned the game around.
Every game this year that Collingwood have led at three-quarter time, they've gone on to win. Josh Fraser getting some work. You can see Keith Scotland down there on the bench as well.
So balls bounce. Kane Johnson. This is where they need him firing, and he's in and around the ball. He supplies in. A bit of a wrestle down there. Loose ball. It's a free to Collingwood and could be 50. No. So they'll go back, and one of the better players on the ground, Ben Johnson, has it. John Cock, well, started as a defender, and Sauce ends up in the forward line.
Well, what they've done, the Crows, John Cock's gone to the forward, or up to full forward. Johnson's picked him up. exactly what Port Adelaide did to Johnson some weeks ago. Took him back to the goal square. He had terrible trouble holding on to Burgoyne in that position.
So Loney has it, and Crows with a big chance. That free kick went to O'Brien. There was 2 Crows out there, and they really should have made a better contest.
We've got an injury. Batheris is down.
Rupert Batheris.
Just so important, Batheris, because he does give a pretty good contest. Not a pretty good contest, a great contest. Loney out wide, Buckley will jump, and not able to take it. Chance now, Rashudo starting to get a little bit of the ball. Hopefully that's a sign. Bode supplies in, not able to take it. Laddams slapped back towards the boundary. Too high, no ducking was Licuria. Dished it out and wrapped up in the end. Laddams goes in there on Steinford, and we will get a ball up.
So what about the mindset now for the Collingwood team, Steve?
Well, obviously they're trying to win this game. They've got to get the ball on quickly. But if you have a look at Adelaide, they've been here before. They know if they can get the next goal, they're in with the chance. They know they can overrun sides.
So Batheris off, Didak back on the ground. Steinford and the ball over the line.
Just so important, I suppose, in the conditions that the fresh legs come into play.
Well, Collingwood can't defend this lead. No. They need to kick goals.
In the last 25 years, there's been 33 preliminary finals. Only 5 teams have come from behind to win it. Adelaide, one of those teams, when they did it against the Western Bulldogs in 1997. 11-10, 76 Collingwood. They kicked the first 2 goals of the day. The Crows hit back. They led by 3 goals in the second quarter, the Crows. But the Magpies took 6-1 in the third term. They lead at the moment by 20. And again, the crowd here at the MCG making an enormous racket. Clark, crowd. They're the sort of players with the injuries the Crows have sustained to McLeod and Edwards, who need to lift. Their peripheral players have to be good from here. Welsh. And a ball up. Let's get down for the latest on Rupert Batheris. Christy.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, you can probably see there Rupert Batheris still limping a little bit. He just reenacted actually what happened, and he was corked in the hip. So he's feeling a bit sore now, but he's going to keep trying to move, keep the blood flowing.
Interesting, Brett Burton still on the bench for the Crows, Steve. As you mentioned, they've gone with that small forward out of the goal square, John Cock. Rashudo has been inspirational for the Crows today, single-handedly trying to get them back in the contest. The pressure is on Mark Stevens. He couldn't escape. Bodies going in everywhere. A flurry of arms and legs. It's finals footy at the MCG. It really has been finals today. A big crowd and a magnificent atmosphere and a contest.
The intent is certainly has gone up a notch, and that's from the Adelaide Crows. So the sign's a little bit better, still 20 points in arrears at the moment.
We've got some run here, or a chance at least. Goodwin, dispossessed, and a ball up.
Well, you can tell that the Crows aren't prepared to just hand a grand final spot to the Pies on a plate.
Well, they have an opportunity. It's inside 50. Collingwood trying to hug that boundary line. Matthew Clark did well. Johnson, quick kick. Mark Stevens fends it back. Stengline couldn't get the arms clear. Wrapped up by 2. Burns out of danger for Collingwood. Out wide, it'll bounce. Does it say no? Luck going Collingwood's way. It's half forward out of side. Crows still into attack. And handballs, well, they're winning possession, trying to work it in a little bit of space. Adelaide 16-2. And starting to improve at these stoppages. Crow down through the traffic. Johnson beautifully done. Stengline, Laddams held on to. It'll have to come back. Johnson tried to run off, so Laddams has to move it on quickly. And while he waits, Collingwood are getting back and plugging holes, so closing down the space afforded to the forwards of the Crows. Into the pocket, John Cock has got it. It's a beautiful kick. We've got it closer to goal, but boy, not sure how much of the goals are open here, but John Cock, no harder effort.
Well, Ben Johnson's playing on John Cock. He got a terrific block from Bassett, which forced Clement to go with John Cock.
Can this give the Crows some hope? Boy, does he have to work for this. And John Cock misses to the left. Brett Burton back on the ground. Stengline has come off. So a marking option for a running player. and Collingwood lead by 19.
What an anxious time for Collingwood fans now. The Magpies, as Buckley called to play on. In trouble here, Lockyer. Oh, he set his teammate up completely. And the Crows might get a goal here. No, they were just as fierce. The Magpies.
It's a free to Crows.
And Adelaide free.
I'll tell you what, they were lucky to get out of it the first time. That handball from Tarkin Lockyer to a player that was flat-footed with his back to the Collingwood goal.
Well, the perfect tackle was late, and he didn't dispose of the ball correctly.
Kick-ins are so important. So as we saw it last week with Bizzle's kick-in, I know this one found the mark, but it just gives the team, the opposition team, some impetus, doesn't it, when they can turn over a kick-in.
It's a difficult task now, kicking in. A lot of pressure on the player bringing the ball back into play.
Hasn't he been lively?
So it's been a great move by Gary Ayres.
And he can take a mark. He's only a small guy, but can take a big mark.
He's played at every match this year. Been a good story for the Crows. He's kicked 13 goals, 7. Never a more important kick in his short career than this one. And he looks up to the task to me. He's kept the Crows in the game. Game on. 11-10, 76 Collingwood. Adelaide are coming. 9-9-63.
This is a very brave football team. We've seen them all year defy the odds, and once again they're taking it up to the Pies.
So the Crows are back in Collingwood's face. It's back to 13. Still plenty of time. 13 minutes. Clark down. Burns. Lockyer. Around the corner. McGregor does well. Rocker did well to bring it down. Smart overran it. McGregor back in off the ground. Out of danger and out of that corridor. Smart back towards the boundary. You are gone. You are in big trouble.
Disagree with that.
So Tarrant and Collingwood with the chance to move it on. They need a marking option. Out comes Nick Davis. Tarrant will go back. Too far out to score. The left footer will swing it back to the front of goals. That's where he goes. They'll jump Magpie. Got it. No. Dropped it in the end. There was a chance. It comes out to Nick Davis. Can't shrug. Massey will run it away. Hands off. Dowdy back to Massey. Better run now from the Crows. Has to be good. Laddams knocked off the ball. O'Brien. Knocked forward Biglands. Does beautifully. Too high in the end. Bode, you're in trouble. O'Brien. Players throw themselves in and we get a ball up. And this is the way the game should finish. No room, no time, no space, and McKee should have buried that.
13 minutes gone, about the halfway stage, just beyond, as you can see. Inside 10 minutes remaining. The Adelaide Crows who kicked their only 2 goals in this last quarter. Can the Magpies stand up under fierce pressure? Tighter. Back to Scotland. It's an open forward line. Davis, Hart, the experience of Ben Hart. He went to ground. Rocker held it in. Wanted a free kick. And rightfully doesn't get one because it was Rocker holding it in.
Well, McGregor did well to try and keep Rocker off the ball, but Rocker did equally as well to get himself in and, more importantly, smother Ben Hart.
So they're inside 50. Rashudo getting them away to the line. Hart, another throw in.
Just looking at Mercury in the middle of the ground. He's doing some cramping some calf stretches. He looks as though he's in a bit of trouble.
Well, this is what happened last time they played. In the last quarter, the Adelaide ruck dominance eventually told. They didn't win the game, but they came flying back. So it'll be interesting to see that continues.
Well, 46-19 hit-outs, Adelaide leading. That's why Collingwood need that third man up just to push the ball in the area. Nick Davis, is he able to finish? Keeps it low. And finishes it! That is what they were looking for, and that is the finish. Not in a football game, but that is the finish they were looking for. It's back out to 19 points. And that gives Collingwood some breathing space.
Well, they needed it, didn't they, Dakes? Things were looking a little bit shaky. The Crows were taking it up to the Pies. They just needed to kick one just to settle them down a little bit. And the ball couldn't have got into any better hands than Nick Davis.
Well, Dukes has declared it with this goal from Nick Davis.
No, I meant to say
12-10-82 Collingwood. 9-9-63, 19 points. Some Collingwood fans think they've got there. Lots of time remaining. Clark urging them on, trying to take them on through the pack. The Magpies under fierce pressure here. That was Nathan Bassett off the long runner, coming in and putting it on Tarkin Lockyer. Finals footy. Last quarter. The Crows. Buckley talking to the umpire. That's back at centre half forward. Meantime, Wakeland streaming out of defence. Here's your chance, Buckley. Burton over the top. Turn into a defender. Under the wing.
Kick.
It falls for the Crows. Doughty. Can he shrug the tackle? He's gone. James Clement would not let him go.
I wonder who wants to win this game.
Well, I'm sure they both do.
Or wants to win it more, because that's the type of thing that will get you over the line.
So Buckley playing as a key forward for the Magpies. Didak, they've got the man on the overlap. O'Brien, Davis again. Good spoil that time from Ben Hart. Let's have another look at the tackle.
It's a great tackle, really.
Just got the hand at the important time, didn't he? Couldn't release it. Inside 50 of Magpies again. 12-10-82. Adelaide 9-9-63.
Burns trying to find a teammate, and the ball not able to work out into a little bit of space. Buckley will pick himself up and sits over the ball. So it's just inside 50, another goal, and you can have a look at the time remaining in this game. McGregor, third man up and thumb forward. Burns. Rashudo did well to hold on to it. Hart under pressure. Bodle mark. So play on is the call. He kicked around the body. Jason Cloke will come out, bounces away. Crows possibly one of the last chances. O'Brien does well. Licuria backpedaling his freeborn around the body and into the air. Oh, well done. Lockyer with a fly to the ball. And they'll just hold it up now. Still a bit of time. He drills. Burns free kick. Loose ball will come out. Scotland allowed to play on that left foot and into the air. McKee's got it. He ran with a fly to the ball, and I don't think he was the intended target, but Steve McKee comes up with it. 19 minutes last quarter, and every chance now for Collingwood to wrap this game up.
Well, he's worked hard, Steve McKee, hasn't he? Been up against, really, Clark and also Biglands on his own. Josh Fraser has given him a little bit of assistance, but he's basically done it on his own.
So Steve McKee certainly has had his hands full against Biglands and Clark with a chance to finish, and it goes to the right, minor score. So chance slips by. The lead is 20 points, 83 playing 63. And Crows need to whip it up the other end, and they certainly need a goal.
Is there time? There is. Can they do it? I'm not sure. Crowell. Buckley pursuing. Crowell had him covered. Gets them in to give him a chance. Stevens, great body work. Wonderful help by Didak. Getting back to lend assistance. They've been such a team today, haven't they? They've helped each other out when they've been in the crisis. 12-11 Collingwood, 9-9 Adelaide. Shade starting to take over. It's getting late in the day. Tired bodies throwing themselves in everywhere. The Crows, they need something.
Well, I know what they need, and that's a quick goal, because time is starting to run away, but Collingwood are crowding this football now, so pretty much man on man all over the ground.
20 points the difference. Again, the tired bodies, it all suits Collingwood. 5 minutes to go. Collingwood 5 minutes away from another grand final.
Don't get carried away, Hutto. Do not get carried away.
12-11 to 9-9 as we do it all again. Clark, McKee, they needed to break clear, but It's all Collingwood at the back. Didak. Oh, back into trouble. Got out of it.
Okay.
Free kick, advantage. No, it's going to come back.
Key didn't have it.
So Steve McKee, Heath Scotland. Well, the sting to a degree gone out of both teams. An amazing crowd, 88,000. And boy, they've made some noise today. Is there anything left for the Crows? Burton runs his full measure and then some. Gets them to 50. Stevens was the hero last week. Couldn't produce. Over the top, McKee and Cloak collaborate. Freeborn off half-back. Buckley. Burton has to get it moving. Smart. Oh, fumble. They are just about gone, the Crows. Benke playing hurt through the middle of the ground. He's got John Cott coming out of the square. Cloak's back there to lend a hand. And Ryan Loney, who has really matured in his football in the last few weeks. He loves the big occasions. Didak and the Magpies are away.
So into half forward, Nick Davis, or back on wing we are, Massey, hugging the boundary hard, just steps over the line and allowed to get away with it. So 88,960 people. Wonder what we can add to that next week with Collingwood playing off in a grand final. Ball to come in, Clark and Rocker. Rocker, party tricks, loose ball. Players will go in pretty tired, as you can imagine. Nick Davis through the traffic, on to Didak. He loves a goal. Can he get onto the left foot? He can. Around the body. Reality is true. They are home and they are into a grand final. Dream has become reality for the Pies, and I am getting rattled because Hutto, I think they are there.
Well, he did well here, Didak. Knew that he was going to kick it on his right foot, got onto his left, and has put that straight through the middle and takes. The Pies are going to the big dance.
Well, Alan Didak has put Collingwood into the grand final. Great management by the coach at three-quarter time. We saw that he was the freshest player for the Magpies. He's had an impact in the last quarter, and I still don't know what Dake said, but I know what he meant.
Can I be excused?
The Magpies have claimed the first place in the 2002 grand final. What an amazing story it's been from this team. Absolutely stunning. Before the season started, their hopes would have been maybe a spot in the 8. They had a great year, but they looked gone. They looked gone coming into the finals. They limped into the finals. They had an extraordinary win over Port Adelaide, which turned the final series on its head. And now they've done it again against the Adelaide Crows. Quite stunning. And the Magpie fans, start lining up for your tickets now. Scotland. I guess it's now a matter of preserving bodies to make sure you're there for next week. That's not how they'll be thinking, though. They're charging forward again. O'Brien, who was wonderful for them early. Didak, what a last quarter. Paul Lucuria, the hero from Adelaide, the man that almost single-handedly got them here.
Made a difference. Didak, fresh legs. He's come onto this ground in the last quarter and has set up a number of plays for the Pies.
It would be fitting if he's able to finish. And the team in general has finished pretty strongly, so it gives you an idea of the type of conditioning of Mick Malthouse's boys.
Historically, not a great goal kicker for the Magpies. 7 goals, 9 for the year. But right at the moment, it probably doesn't matter. The Magpies are going to make it anyway. And Paul Lucuria kicks it behind.
Was a tight kick. He's done a bit of running today. But could be the most improved player in the competition.
So Ben Hart to bring it back. Collingwood will go into a grand final next week. Ben Hart, McGregor, it'll come down. Scotland has been good to McKee. Chips up, Licuria, second bite. No, Nick Davis can go over the top again, no. He had a player in the corridor, and Nick Davis with a chance now to add another goal. He's kicked a couple of pretty good goals, one late in that second. He came up with a doozy in this last quarter from that boundary. And 45-degree angle, Collingwood finishing pretty strongly. Davis, normally a pretty good finisher, Nick Davis. Is he good on this occasion? It goes to the right and stays there, so another miss. And you can understand the players feeling tight in the conditions. Both teams throwing everything at it, and Collingwood are finishing the stronger. Smart to bring it back.
Big kick. Oh, good spoil by McKee. Scotty Burns, just a rubber bit of salt in. No. So Smart able to release it. Burns and Bode. They know now that the moment has passed. The Magpies are still running on adrenaline. The Crows have really tried hard, but they were decimated today by injury. McLeod and particularly Edwards early, who they lost. Binky obviously not 100% fit, and it's counted against them as the day has worn on. And this Magpie crowd, 88,000 people here today. They are going to make one mighty roar when the siren rings. You can't help but admire this. Here's Christie with Nathan Buckley.
Thanks, Anthony. Nathan, you're into a grand final. Can you believe it?
Not yet. I reckon there wouldn't be much better feeling than the one next week if we do it.
You said you always wanted to play finals. How did you enjoy that game?
Yeah, well, it was a fantastic team effort. I thought they got away from us a little bit in the second quarter, but we were able to stabilise the game and close it down, which was great.
You look pretty calm.
Yeah, well, there's another week to go, isn't there? We're looking forward to it.
Well done, Nathan. Anthony.
Well, talk about keeping the lid on it. Nathan Buckley has done that before when Collingwood have had big wins, and he's done it again today. He looked gone today, looked in trouble with his hamstring. Anthony Rocker kicked an inspirational goal in the second quarter. Here he is with Mark.
Anthony, what do you make of that?
Just the fact that there was two teams just desperate to make a grand final, and fortunate for us, we were more desperate than what they were, and first grand final for most of these boys. So, you know, we don't get the opportunity every day, so we're going to try and take it as we can.
What about that roar? How extraordinary was that roar when the siren went?
Oh, mate, well, the roar when we ran out into the ground was a bit bigger than that, I think, but you know, there's 90,000, I think, here today. Just fantastic. There's probably about 70,000 Collingwood supporters, and, you know, they deserve this as much as what we do.
Congratulations. Enjoy the week. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here's Christie again.
Christie.
Well, you're into the grand final. Your players seem pretty calm. You seem pretty calm. How are you feeling?
I'm not calm. It's a credit to Adelaide, and it's a credit to our boys. I think it was a wonderful exhibition of finals football. There was a lot of contested issues, and you know, we had to do something about our second quarter. We were pretty ordinary, and the boys fought back very well. So I'm very proud of them.
Was it the most pleasing thing the way they finished?
Well, I guess with Adelaide's commitment over the last 3 or 4 weeks. We expected that our third quarter would be reasonably big, and it probably set us up, I guess.
What will you say to them now as you go in there?
Steady on, because it's it's going to be a big week for them, but the job's not done, and we've got to work from here.
Thank you. Anthony.
Thank you, Christy. What an amazing record Mick Malthouse. He took the Eagles into the finals for a decade in the 90s for two premierships there. He has done an astonishing job with this team. It's an amazing feeling around the ground. There's going to be some subplots, though, as the week. We saw Jared Malloy. How does he feel? Well, Jason Cloak reported early in the game. How's he going to feel?
Well, they're the decisions that the Pies are going to have to make throughout the week. But one thing they do know, they are there. They've got to get through the next 7 days and prepare in the best manner they possibly can. But what a great effort today, Dakes.
How are you feeling, Dakes?
Well, look, just so proud of the boys, and I hope no one holds it against me. But look, I'm over the top, and I'm just so thrilled because I think, as Anthony Rocker said, you only get one chance at it. And what I was trying to say in that last quarter, dreams do come true.
And this was the moment on the siren, as the siren rang out to say that Collingwood are into their first grand final since 1990. 88,000 people, and this was the reaction of the Magpie fans. And of course, Eddie Maguire.
Hoo-ha! And why wouldn't you feel like that? I mean, it's been a long year, and I think let's take our hat off certainly what Mick Malthouse brought into this game, but the work that Eddie Maguire, there's still a game to go, we know, but the work that Eddie Maguire and Mick Malthouse have done, or the turnaround that has been created at the football club.
I wonder if they can keep a lid on it during the week. With the blokes like this around, it's going to be hard. What a day. They must be proud of their efforts.
Sunday, in times of trouble, he's a brilliant bush mechanic. Move over, Croc Hunter. Russell's the real McCoy. Adventure. All new, all Aussie adventures at 7:30. Then, in every meeting, there's always one annoying distraction.
Let it ring.
What if it's a medical emergency?
The stupid machine will get it. My name is Linda.
Better, following all new, all Aussie adventures Sunday on 10.
They're here. Here. They're everywhere. The police are out in force, in booze buses and cars, to target drink drivers.
In my opinion, the result of the preliminary
And they'll be tough on anyone who blows .05 or over.
Understand what I've just said?
I haven't really had a drink.
They require you to accompany me to the police station.
So tell me, Ronald, how long have you wanted to be a pizza?
The real burger pizza from Pizza Haven. Looks like a pizza, tastes like a burger.
I want to be a pizza.
Pizza Haven, more than great pizza.
Is it a clearance? Is it a sale? No!